step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, you just need a shoop shoop into your Wednesday like that. Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you for joining us and starting off your day with us. There we go. There we go.
Boom. Much better than yesterday. Much better. I always think we're starting with like a boomerang every morning. People when they turn their TV on, that's what they see. But it is a Wednesday. It's midweek. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. It's going to be, I think, maybe tricky waters to tread this morning, but something that could be hugely useful for families. Can we call them blended families? Yeah. Families that have an unconventional makeup. Maybe that applies to you. Maybe you've got some great advice. We've got some fantastic practical advice, but we want you to join that conversation a little bit later this morning. 021-430-9881 if you have any questions, we want to connect with you.
And then also the City of Cape Town, they've launched a great initiative to create safe spaces for the homeless. And this is to address the city's shortage of shelters. So we'll take a look at that.
I love it. There's this notion homeless people must be homeless somewhere else, but it's our city. These are our people, part of our community. We've got to do something about it. Then, of course, at this time of the year, maybe the bank balance is a little bit tight. Well, we're going to help you keep stylish with some life hacks on how to keep stylish on a budget. Some brilliant practical advice there as well.
A bouget.
A bouget.
A bouget. We'll keep stylish on a budget. And then, of course, we'll bring you some music. Today, we are joined by Brandon Lee Hunt. We're going to get to know him a little bit better and also hear some great music. So don't go anywhere or miss a thing on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning.
Oh, let's get you prepped for the day ahead with those news headlines. Leanne, as always, looking just too gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much, G. Good morning to you, team, and you at home. Here's your news headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Dr. Silas Ramaite as Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions. This marks Ramaite's third stint as an acting NPA head. This time, Ramaite replaces Sean Abrams, who was forced to vacate the office following the Constitutional Court ruling on Monday. Ramaite is currently the National Prosecution Authority's Deputy National Director, responsible for administration and the Office for Witness Protection. He has served as Deputy Director for 15 years. He holds several law degrees, including an LLD specializing in constitutional law from UNISA. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday also launched the government's plans to improve sanitation in rural schools and eradicate the pit latrine system in the country. The program, led by the Basic Education Department, follows the deaths of 2 young children who drowned in a school pit latrines. About 4,000 schools across the country still use the pit toilets, and government now hopes to eradicate these. Ramaphosa called on business to join hands with government to realize a pit latrine-free society by 2030. Now moving further abroad, in 2020, Burundi will join a growing number of African countries to have banned plastic bags. President Pierre Nkurunziza has issued a decree prohibiting the manufacture, import, storage, sale and use of all plastic bags and other plastic packaging. It will come into effect in 18 months' time, allowing for the disposal of current stocks and orders already placed. More than 40 countries around the world have banned plastic bags, including Morocco, Rwanda and Kenya. And then finally, at least 35 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential rains yesterday morning over buildings in the northern Italian port city of Genoa. A 50-meter high section of the bridge, including one set that supports the tower above it, crashed down in the rain onto the roof of a factory and other buildings, crushing vehicles below and plunging huge slabs of reinforced concrete into the nearby riverbed. Transport Minister Danilo Toninelli says that told the Italian state television the disaster pointed to a lack of maintenance, adding that those responsible will have to pay. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Let's get our very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with cricket. Sri Lanka came out on top against the Proteas in their once-off T20 yesterday thanks to a 3-wicket victory in Colombo. In a match where both teams struggled with the bat, South Africa were bowled out for just 98 in their innings. Sri Lanka's chase stuttered a little, but they managed to win the match with 3 wickets and 4 overs remaining. So the Proteas next face Zimbabwe in an ODI series that gets underway on the 30th of September. Then staying with cricket, Proteas paceman Kagiso Rabada has picked up the Wisden's Golden Boy of 2018 award, making him the best male under-23 in under-23 cricket in the world. Rabada finished top of the Wisden's under-23 list with Afghanistan's Rashid Khan in second and Proteas batsman Aiden Markram in third. Lungi Ngidi was the only other South African on the list as he finished in 9th place, so congratulations to all. Then on to football, still no win for Chiefs. The points were shared in the PSL last night as Kaizer Chiefs and Baraka FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Baraka went ahead in the 36th minute thanks to a Daniel Cardoso own goal. The Soweto side equalised 7 minutes later through Sapiwa Chabalala. Tonight in the PSL, Pirates host Bidvest Wits. Should be a good one. That's at the Orlando Stadium. Kickoff is at 7:30. Then some sad news in Formula One, albeit not completely unexpected. Two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso has announced that he will retire from the sport at the end of the current season, bringing an end to a 17-season career. The 37-year-old's best results came back in 2005 and 2006 when he won the Drivers' Championship racing with Renault. Alonso will be in action for McLaren next weekend as the season heads to the Spa-Francorchamps track for the Belgian Grand Prix, and with the season set at the moment and hanging in the balance should be a cracker as well. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Good morning, South Africa. It's a feel-good Wednesday, and it's time to have a look at your weather this morning. Now, we've asked you to send us some stunning pictures of your sunrise and show us how you wake up. And Fatima Yassin Ismail from Durban has sent us this beautiful picture overlooking the harbour in Durban. And Durban can expect partly cloudy conditions reaching mild temperatures. Share your morning with us on the Expresso Facebook page. A quick look at the weather and temperatures across the country. Polokwane, minimum of 11 and maximum of 28. Mbombela, 15 and 30. Pretoria starts off at 11 and ends off with a maximum of 27. Johannesburg, 10 and 25. Mahikeng, 13 and 30. Klerksdorp, 14 and 29. Kimberley, starting off at 6 and ending off at a maximum of 29. Bloemfontein is 4 and 26. Richards Bay is cloudy at 18 and 29. Pietermaritzburg can expect a bit of sun and a bit of cloudiness at 14 and a maximum of 24. Durban, 18 and 22. Rainy again in Umtata, it's 10 and 17. East London, also prepare yourself for some rain today, 10 and 17. Craddock is 3 and a maximum of 21, with PE starting off at a minimum of 8 and maximum of 17. George, 7 and 15. Sutherland, -4 and ending off at a maximum of 12. Cape Town, 7 and 16. Worcester, 1 and 16. Springbok is nice and sunny at 0, but a maximum of 17. Uppington as well, a bit of sun today, 3 and 27. Your next weather update at 6:30.
So great to have you join us. Thank you so much. Let's have a little bit of fun now, delving into the history books, find out what makes this day momentous throughout history. And of course, it is the 15th of August, lest we forget.
Lest we forget. Well, on this day in 1055, do you say it like that? How would you say it? In 57 rather, a King of Scotland, Macbeth, the titular character from Shakespeare's famous play, was killed at the Battle of Lumphanan. Now, although Shakespeare used a considerable amount of artistic license, Macbeth really did exist, and some of the events of the play were based on real accounts.
Life was rough back then, man.
It was
in the 10s.
Too rough.
In the 10s, back in 1057.
Never survive.
So and this is far more important, this is really a big fact coming here. On this day in 1995, Spanish pop duo the Del Rios released their hit song. Does anyone know? Anyone know?
Macarena.
Macarena, the Macarena, along with its iconic dance, has become a staple of parties and celebrations. It ain't a wedding unless you've done a Macarena.
Exactly.
Simple.
And then today is a very important day in the country of India. Now, the 15th of August marks the Independence Day in the country, and this year is the 72nd year since India became free of British rule.
Wow. I love that. So on this day in 1947, Prime Minister Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of India, he said the words, "At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. Is that not the best quote ever? He then hoisted the national flag at the Red Fort in Delhi, and this subsequently became a symbolic gesture that is repeated every year.
That's amazing, and it's also become tradition for people across the country to fly kites as a symbol of freedom. And the day is also celebrated here in South Africa, and later on there'll be a special event in Pretoria hosted by the High Commissioner of India in South Africa. So to all of our Indian viewers, we wish you a very happy Independence Day.
Oh, that is a fantastic way to mark what's gone down on this day in history. And as always, we urge you go out there and make this one for the books.
Well, we are about to take a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to get into some parenting advice. We're joined by Tayla Ressel, family therapist. And this morning we're putting the focus on raising your kids in a blended family, a very interesting topic.
Very interesting indeed. We also look at creating safer spaces for the homeless across Cape Town. So you need to stick around with us. That's coming up after the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Good morning. So we asked you on social media this morning, which do you prioritize the most? Family, work, social life, or exercise? I mean, we asked this question because everyone gets so busy all the time, but your messages and comments have been streaming in fast and thick. Here's Colin Eddie Anthony saying, good morning, Expresso. It's family because it is my important support system that keeps me strong, blessed, and happy. Have a great day. That's beautiful. Colin, have a great day to you as well. Nathan Paul says, good morning, guys. Work. Basically, because I have to focus more on my schoolwork, even though social life is important. I know how that difficult can be. And then Tuli Leather says, good morning, team. Family is the most important to me because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I love them so much. Now, that's really beautiful. Lots of family comments coming through here. Why don't you share with us? Head off to our Facebook and Twitter pages, #Expresso Show.
That's proven what I've known all along. We're on the same wavelength here. I love the fact that you've highlighted family because that's what it's all about right now. For many children specifically, having a new step-parent often means gaining new brothers or sisters as well. And for many children, this new reality of living in a blended family can be particularly challenging, and that's understandable. And this morning we're joined in studio by a familiar face, family therapist and social worker, Tayla Ressel, to talk more about this. Tayla, welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. What exactly do we talk about when we meet, when we talk about the concept of blended families?
Well, it's a new term. It's a more modern term where we're talking about two families that have merged together.
Yes.
A merger.
A merger, exactly. Traditionally, we may have said step-parent or, step-siblings, but now blended because we acknowledge it's not just the parents and the children, it's grandparents, aunts, uncles. It's when two systems come together and how they negotiate that.
I mean, one half of my family lives on the other side of the world now that I've connected with. Just the cultural differences I'm realizing are massive.
Yes.
When it comes to a family that's already established a model, a rhythm, now that you're going to change that, and for children, why is that specifically so challenging, entering into a blended family, as you say?
Well, like you say, it's got a rhythm, it's got an identity of family, but now when you go into a blended family, there would have been some sort of ending. That may have been, a divorce, a separation, a death. So there's trauma that the child's dealing with that whole loss, and now having to connect to new people and navigating new rules and new norms.
Yeah.
So it can be extremely hard while they're still trying to process their own grief or their own fantasy. I mean, children want their parents to stay together as this fantasy, you know, is totally normal.
Yeah.
But navigating and going into a new system can be very tricky.
Yeah.
I know that you said it doesn't only mean step-parents, but let's talk about a step-parent, for instance.
Yes.
What does a healthy relationship between a step-parent and a child actually look like?
I think it's one that's very
Hopefully not like that.
Talk to the hands because the face ain't listening.
Yes, and not like Cinderella or Snow White. So we have there's lots of caricatures in our modern media about the wicked stepmother and so forth. But what it looks like is something with a healthy boundary, with respect of this is my role. I'm not here to replace a parent. I'm here to assist and support. I'm here, a healthy relationship looks like one that's open and takes time. I mean, you don't expect, just because you love your new partner, you don't have to automatically love their children. And certainly it's not going to be reciprocated back to you as an automatic affection. So a good relationship takes time. It's got lots of communication.
Yeah.
I think there's also an opportunity, because we don't want it to seem negative, that this is a negative process that has to be navigated, because you've got an opportunity to form a new relationship, to have a new mentor, to get new advice, to get a fresh perspective. But so much of that responsibility is going to lie on the biological parents, on their shoulders, to facilitate that. What do you do as the parent who is now also having to go through this transition yourself? How do you manage that specifically for your child?
Well, it's a big ask. I mean, for that biological parent, if they're not in a space where they are okay with the end of the previous relationship. Remember, they're going through their process, so they may have their own emotions about it. But as a parent, you know, we have to try and separate our own feelings from what's in the child's best interest. So it is quite a Herculean ask of the biological parent, but if they can be supportive, they don't have to be false supportive, but they can allow the discussion, they can give the child permission to like the other person or to enjoy spending time there and to be able to come back and talk to them about it. And I think what would really help is if the biological parent can meet the step-parent, they can talk about it, they can acknowledge, listen, I'm not here to step on your toes, you're not here to step on my toes. What we want is the more people in the child's life, the better. The more love, the better.
Blend it all.
Blend it all, exactly. Bring it all together.
Yeah.
One big
So you can end up like that family. Just a blonde family and a brunette family.
There's some gingers as well at the bottom there. Well, thank you so much, Tayla. We're actually going to be staying with Tayla and catching up with her a little bit later on as we talk about fostering good relationships between the two different systems that come together in a blended family.
The City of Cape Town, they've recently launched a safe space for homeless individuals. This is to lay their heads during this cold winter, an initiative that aims to address the shortage of shelters around the city. Now let's find out more about this initiative and how it hopes to make a real difference.
Today we officially launched the safe space. It's been open for a few weeks. We did a soft launch of it a few weeks ago. We've been speaking to homeless people now for the last few years about the concept. We're saying, if we build this, will you come? And what needs to be there for you to come? Because when we speak to homeless people, they say, no, we don't want to go to shelters. So all of this was designed around what we got as indications from the people on the street. And essentially, it's a one-stop shop for people. So people can come here at night, they can be safe. There's space for 230 people here. There's lockers at the back there where you can lock your personal effects so they don't disappear. It also is a place where you can get access to a toilet. There's a shower with warm water. And it's very basic, but at the same time, many of them have been on the street for 20, 30 years. They're not keen on being in a brick and mortar structure. They've adapted a certain lifestyle, and if we're asking them to walk with us to the next level, this has to be a place where they feel comfortable coming. So one of the provisions was that we had to relax the rules. It's a little bit more lenient than a shelter, and people sleep in their extended family structures as they would on the street. Couples stay together, which is something that in the shelters they don't permit. So from when she's been 12 years old, she's been on the street. And sy's nou 42. Okay, jy lyk bietjie jonger, Cecilia. Cecilia has a friend who is here with her, who I spoke to last week. Ons het hom aangemoedig om 'n ring om my vinger te sit. As jy Helen reg maak by jou, sit ek nie jou nou baie lelik op die spot, hoor. Hoor jy die storie? No pressure, Cecilia. Thank you. We wanted to open it in time for the winter. Weather is miserably cold at the moment. The issue is when it gets warmer, will people stay? And so I'm encouraged that I hear of the 16 people who've joined us here now. People like Cecilia and Ivan and Llewellyn and others are staying. They're coming back. And they're saying that this is a place where they can sleep at night, where it is good for them to be. That's what I want to hear. And we're going to pay careful attention to what they have to say over the next weeks, because we will have to change and adapt. There isn't a neat blueprint that we can run this place according to. We're learning as we go.
The new facility, it surprised me really, because as I can tell you now, as a safe space, and I know outside here, I should have kind of wear a jacket like this. This should have been long time gone. So that's why I say the safe space is all right. We can't actually expect everything, you understand? But at least we're out of the cold, out of the wind, and there's medical, got blankets.
Other NGOs are coming forward and said we'll come and bring food, we'll come and bring opportunities, we'll come and cut hair here. This is also a place where once a week for 3 hours, our matrix drug treatment facilities and our clinics will come and render services. So it is becoming a useful one-stop shop for people to come and gain access to opportunities, counseling, etc.
We want to work, most of all, you see? I want to work that can also not actually feed me, can also maybe send money maybe to my family, my children and stuff like that.
This is a place where people can access EPWP job. In fact, their house father, Ivan, is somebody who 4 months ago was on the street and is now the house father working on the Extended Public Works program. We've also made an arrangement that anybody who's here or in one of the shelters, who after being on the EPWP work finds more long-term accommodation, we will reward with more long-term employment. So we've given them the commitment, if that they find accommodation, we will sustain the employment on a more long-term basis for them as well.
I don't think there is a Cape Townian, and hopefully this kind of can be extended to the rest of South Africa, that does not have a connection in some way to the homeless community, especially here in Sea Point. We see it every day. So something like this is a massive, massive shift in the right direction.
It's beautiful.
It really is beautiful. So now let's have a little bit of silly fun this morning. We love our games.
Yes,
dude.
we
love
do.
our emoji charades game because it tests our, in this case, international entertainment knowledge. So we're going to give you a range of emojis, okay? You're going to take a look, and then we might give you a couple of clues to make it a bit easier. So we know it's a song, 2 words in the title. We've got the thinking man emoji, we've got the heart, ha, and the thumbs down, boo, the boo hand. I have no idea.
Well, it's definitely a song. So this helps. This already helps us a lot. But these clues are going to help you just in case you were still unsure. It is. But I'll tell you, this is a song by a K-pop boy band from their album Love Yourself.
Okay.
It debuted at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's the highest charting song by a K-pop group in the US, and the music video was viewed close to 36 million times within the first 24 hours.
I'm still doing that face.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, still thinking. And of course, final clue, they will soon make history by becoming the first Korean artists to perform at a stadium show in the United States of America.
I'm giving myself that because I still haven't figured it out, but maybe you have had a little light bulb moment there. You can share with us what song we are talking about. Let us know on our Facebook pages or Twitter feed using, as always, hashtag Expresso Show. Try out our emoji charades game.
Well, hashtag, let's take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. When we get back, we're going to get to know our performer, Brandon Lee Hunt, a little bit better. I know that he's been playing the guitar from a young age, so we'll get to know him a little bit better through rapid-fire questions.
Exactly, and then we're also going to show you how to remain stylish without having to break the bank. All that and more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Stand a chance of following in the footsteps of your favorite presenter search on 3 contestant by winning a trip for 2 to Reunion Island. Spend 7 nights in 5-star luxury at the Akoya Hotel and Spa, including economy flights from Joburg on Air Austral and car rental for a week, all courtesy of the Reunion Tourism Board. To stand a chance of winning, tell us where the presenter search on 3 finale was held. Was it 1, Reunion Island, or 2, Mauritius? SMS the keyword reunion plus your name, city and answer, 1 or 2, to 33728. That's 33728 at R1.50 per SMS. No free SMSs apply. Entrants must be over 18 and hold a valid South African passport. T's and C's apply and can be found on presentersearchon3.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue to celebrate, to commemorate, to take note of the incredible contributions that women have made here in South Africa. Of course, most notably, on the 9th of August 1956, some 20,000 women, mainly South African women, marched on the Union buildings in Pretoria in protest against past laws. So throughout this entire month, we've been bringing incredible quotes from women of fortitude, like Mom Albertina Sisulu, who is, would have been also celebrating her centenary this year, along with Tata Madiba. And we've got another brilliant quote from a shero this morning.
She is definitely a shero, and one of the original heroines from the 9th of August 1956. I'm talking about Lillian Ngoyi, who says, "I am looking forward to the day when my children will share in the wealth of our lovely South Africa. When I die, I'll die a happy person because I have seen the rays of our new South Africa rising."
I love that.
Words.
I'm very positive, and I hope that is how the majority of people are feeling, that we might not be there yet, but those rays have broken across the top of the mountain. It's something that does rest on all of our shoulders, though, to make a reality. So thank you so much for that quote. And hopefully that's inspired you to embrace this ethos, not just in Women's Month, but every day.
In the national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Dr. Silas Ramaite as Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions. Ramaite is currently the National Prosecution Authority's Deputy National Director, responsible for administration and the Office for Witness Protection, and has served as Deputy Director for 15 years. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday also launched the government's plans to improve sanitation in rural schools and eradicate the pit latrine system in the country. About 4,000 schools across the country still use pit toilets, and government now hopes to eradicate these by the year 2030. On the international front, in 2020, Burundi will join a growing number of African countries to have banned plastic bags. President Pierre Nkurunziza has issued a decree prohibiting the manufacture, import, storage, sale, and use of all plastic bags and other plastic packaging. And then finally, at least 35 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential rains yesterday morning over buildings in the northern Italian port city of Genoa. A 50-meter high section of the bridge, including one set that supports the tower above it, crashed down in the rain onto buildings and vehicles below. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
In cricket, Sri Lanka came out on top against the Proteas in their once-off T20 yesterday thanks to a 3-wicket victory in Colombo. Staying with the game, sticking with cricket, Proteas paceman Kagiso Rabada has picked up the Wisden Golden Boy of 2018 award, making him the best male under 23 in the world of cricket. Then in football, points were shared in the PSL last night as Kaizer Chiefs and Baraka FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Tonight, Pirates will host Wits. Kickoff for that is at 7:30. And in Formula One, some sad news. Two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso has announced that he will retire from the sport at the end of the current season. More on that story on the top of the hour right now. Let's see if the roads have woken up.
They certainly have. Let's take a first look at the roads in Gauteng and Midrand. There's a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 southbound. It's before Samarand Avenue and it's currently obstructing that right lane. You can expect delays. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
Hey, look at your weather once again. Now, we've asked you to send us your sunrise pictures, and Catherine Dubois de Venner from Rustenburg sent the sunrise picture of the sun peaking above the horizon. Now, Rustenburg today, if you're there, you're going to love this. Very warm temperatures with a maximum of 31 degrees, so you're going to enjoy the sunshine and have a really good day. Remember to get those sunrise pictures that you are taking through to us on our Facebook. A quick look at the temperatures across the country. Polokwane is at 11 and 28, Mbombela 15 and 30, Pretoria 11 and 27, Johannesburg 10 and 25, Mahikeng a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 30, Klerksdorp 14 and 29, Kimberley minimum 6 and maximum 29, Bloemfontein 4 and 26, Richards Bay 18 and 29, Pietermaritzburg 14 and 24. If you're in Durban, prepare yourself for a minimum of 18 and 22. In Umtata, keep nice and warm. It's raining as well, so a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 17. East London as well at 10 and 17. Craddock 3 and 21. Port Elizabeth 8 and 17. George minimum of 7 and a maximum of 15. Sutherland starting off at a minimum of -4 and a maximum of 12. Cape Town today is 7 and 16. Worcester 1 and 16. Springbok is sunny but it's not so warm, 0 and a maximum of 17. Uppington 3 and 27. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
So I'm having a chat about tattoos with Brandon Lee Hunt, our performer this morning. Dude, first of all, your sound check felt like a performance already, bro. So awesome. Such a pleasure and an honor to have you here. The guitar skills are insane. But all of that goes out the window right now because we're about to get down to business. We're going to play probably one of the most, now get it on, man, one of the most grueling, intense question games you have ever played in your life, okay? It's called Rapid Fire. We're going to get to know you by how you answer some completely random questions. It is a lot of fun, but I need you to go, bro. We've got a lot of questions. Are you up for it?
Let's do it.
Are you up for it? Come on, son. All right, can I start our clock, please? In 3, 2, 1. A walk on the beach or a long drive?
Walk on the beach.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Cook at home or eat out?
Cook at home.
One country you dream of performing in?
Chile.
Nice. Arnie or Sylvester Stallone?
Arnie all the way.
Live sport or a good movie?
Live sport.
Last artist you added to your playlist?
Sure. Yeah, I can't think.
Yourself, man. Just say I put my latest in. Playing live or writing new music?
Sure, no, 50-50 both.
I love that. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Oh, that's handy. Favorite word?
Sure.
That's a word.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
a word.
Sure.
Which celebrity would you grab a drink with?
Eric Clapton.
Oh, nice, man. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise?
Neither.
Bacon or Nutella?
Bacon.
Yeah. Who is the last person you texted?
My friend Jay.
Oh, what's up, Greg? Dude, we've just got 3. Can I just ask the 3 last questions because that was insanely good, man. We were like in the zone there. Favorite sport?
I'd have to say it is rugby.
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Would you rather go bald or have a giant beard like Gandalf?
I would rather have a giant beard like Gandalf.
Oh, man, that is awesome, dude. Thank you so much for playing along. I think we picked up some gems there. Absolute gems. Arnie all the way, dude. Just very quickly, we're gonna hear you perform, obviously, a little bit later. It's taken you, I mean, when I look at your life path, you played for a number of bands, now shifted from Durbs to Cape Town. What is that journey moving down here? What motivated the move to Cape Town, and how is it working out for you?
It's sure. So far, I mean, to answer that, so far it's been absolutely fantastic. My family is from Cape Town, so it was, I think, being close to family, definitely. My folks are both born and bred Cape Townians. I just grew up in Durbs. I love Durban, but I felt like it was time for me to come back home, I guess.
I mean, you're an artist, after listening to you play, I think is probably the best way to describe you. How would you describe the kind of, do you have a lane? How do you approach your music, 50-50 performing and writing?
Yeah, I mean, it's I would say my music is pretty much my memoirs to my life. So as I'm going through life, I'm writing music to kind of bring me through that. So that would pretty much be my answer to that. It's just songs that sing from the well within was described once. So just singing from what I feel and what I experience, man. I
have a feeling you're going to help people have that same cathartic release when they listen to you play this morning. Absolute pleasure having you here, dude.
Thank you very much, man.
That was one of the best performances we've ever seen in Rapid Fire, so well done, buddy. You're going to see Brandon perform a little bit later in the show.
Well, so to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to show you how to stay stylish or become stylish without breaking the bank. Oh, I love that.
I love tips like
I'm
that.
Here for it.
Yes, and we're also joined by the cast from Shakespeare in Love. They're joining us. We're going to connect with them after the break. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
You're still with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Welcome to it. Good morning. It's time to check out your entertainment news. Looking at South African entertainment news, Leanne, what's happening?
Well, as I sip on my black coffee, I have to tell you that DJ Black Coffee plans to help up-and-coming musicians take their music to the world through his much-anticipated streaming app called Gongbox.
Yeah!
Hey, come on.
We love the Gongbox.
Exactly. Now, Coffee believes that it will help give aspiring musicians exposure and also motivate young people in general to create their own platforms. The app's name Gongbox has been in the works for the past 4 years, and going by what Black Coffee and his team at Solistic Music have told us, the DJ explained that this is a music platform similar to Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and the like, but it's tailored for an African market. We're available
we
for
love that.
Come on. And then Black Coffee also tweeted, half a loaf is better than no bread. We were told we want the bakery agree. We're coming for everything.
We're coming for
everything. I love that. I love that. That's
you
so
see,
awesome.
Someone like Black Coffee is such a credible person to be coming up with something like this because, first of all, how many artists from Africa have gone and pioneered and really put us on the world map in the way that he has? And it's beautiful to see him learning all the things he learns there, coming back and then implementing.
But he's always also had a knack for helping others along the way, leading the ladder, paving the way for them, not doing it just for himself.
He's going to take you on that journey with him, which is wonderful. We're also happy to say that Sibahle Mpisane opened her eyes for the first time on Tuesday. Now, this is 6 days after the horror crash that left her fighting for her life. Her father, Zbu Mpisane, said that the family had been filled with hope as they continued to hold vigil at her bedside in the intensive care unit at the Netcare St. Augustine's Hospital. Sibahle has been in a critical condition since the early hours of Thursday morning when her sports car plowed into a tree. Now, paramedics had to use the jaws of life to remove her from the vehicle after it overturned. And police have confirmed that detectives are probing the circumstances which led up to the accident and registered a case of reckless and negligent driving. So I think at this point, we're just happy that she is opening her eyes. Lots of prayers are going out on a daily basis. So we hope that she's going to come out of this okay. But it was hectic to see. I mean, those images.
They're terrible, but I'm just glad she's opened her eyes, and I'm praying some more that she keeps them open and she recovers.
Full recovery.
Full recovery indeed. Thank you. That was your local entertainment news. And when it comes to fashion, we want to make sure you are sorted without having to break the bank. That's why we have fashion editor Nick Strelitz bringing us some style tips and a few how-tos without having to spend too many cents.
Hey y'all, it is me, Expresso fashion editor Nick Strelitz. Thank you for joining me for my very first edition of the How To Fashion Guide. Guys, in today's installment, we're talking fashion hacks. These are easy to use, creative ways for you at home to get stylish on the cheap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for hack number 1. Guys, we all have those moments where we pick out our favorite white tee from our closets and it's a bit stanky. Nothing you did, believe me, this is just general wear and tear odor. Now, instead of throwing it in the washing machine, waiting that 30-45 minutes and also wasting all that water, which we do not have, I have a very, very easy and quick tip. It's all in the vodka, guys. Yes, I said vodka. You can do more than just drink this on a Saturday night. It's actually a really easy and fun way of getting rid of residual odors on clothes. All you have to do is throw a bit of that favorite vodka in a little spray bottle, pick up that favorite garment of yours. Generally, it is something that's white, something you wear repeatedly, and I'm always in a white tee. You just want to hold the bottle maybe about 24 inches, that's about 2 feet from the actual tee, and you want to do a very, very quick spritz. You're literally just spritzing. You don't want the whole thing to be inundated. Also, you can just do it in case you're thirsty. Oh, no, probably not. Just a little spritz around, and voila, the odor is removed. Guys, it smells like roses and unicorns. Now, guys, we're all hustling in this day and age. It's 2018. We're power men and women. And what says power more than our favorite collared shirt? But too many times that collar loses its rigidity, it loses that beautiful peakness, and a modern iron just doesn't cut it, which is why I have my secret weapon. It's the hair straightener, guys. This isn't just to straighten those gorgeous locks. No, there's another purpose and function. Now, what you want to do is grab that favorite collared shirt. You want to flip that collar up. It's oh so simple. And guys, this is so easy. You just start a very gentle straightening with that straightening iron. Now you want to make sure the temperature is as hot as possible, but you don't want to burn yourself. And it's oh so simple, guys. You want to hold it very firmly and in one motion, start from the top and go all the way down to the tip. You're going to do it on the other side as well. From the top, hold firm and steady down to the tip. Now guys, you want to give these extra tips a little more sort of care. So we're just going to hold it on there. This is the most important part of the collar. And voila, you can give yourself a quick little extra zoom zoom. Instant. Look at these, guys. Now, ladies, how often has this happened to you? And fellas love a nice heel as well, but you go to your favorite store, you find your favorite pair of heels, maybe it's a bit too small, but you gotta get it because it's the last one. Now listen, don't despair. There's a very simple hack to get these bad girls out strutting on the street. All you need is a thick pair of socks and you are good to go. Now step one is applying the sock to your foot, ever so easy and elegant. Then you wanna slip the shoe on. Obviously it's a bit small, so you wanna make sure you're in firm. Ta-da, stunning, gorgeous, love it. Once you've got the foot in the shoe, you wanna grab the hairdryer. Now this is the part that counts. For rotation of 30 seconds at a time, you really wanna make sure you're putting the heat on those areas that are most problematic, right? So 30 seconds in a circular motion, make your way all around the shoe. Get in there, girls and fellas. Why not fellas? I'm wearing some heels. All the way around. Now what's gonna happen is the heat ends up opening that thick leather, breaking it out, breathing it in, so you're getting that little bit of extra room that you need. All the way around in a circular motion, and ta-da, done. Easy. And that's it from me, your Expresso Show fashion editor, along with Mr. Bobby here. That's your how-to fashion guide, fashion hacks. Keep it stylish, South Africa. Bobby and I are going. We're going to the mall. You want to go shopping?
You want to go shopping?
We're going shopping.
Well, thank you so much, Nick Strelitz. Now, while Shakespeare penned his most famous work 400 years ago, he still continues to inspire generations even today. One of the most iconic fictional works about the Bard of Avon is the Oscar-winning 1998 romantic comedy film Shakespeare in Love. Now, the stage version of which has returned to Cape Town's Fugard Theatre after a very successful 2017 run. And this morning, we're joined by some of the cast, the stars of the show, Daniel Impela Richards, Roxanne Haywood, and Walter Van Dyke to share more with us. Good morning, darlings. How are you? It's so good to have you. Of course, Daniel is no stranger to our TV screens. It's good to see you. Were you cast in this character because of your hair?
I
think it was there.
Return.
How do you do it? But it's so good to see that this film is making a return. I mean, of course, it is a story referring to real people, but how do you interpret your character, Daniel?
I mean, I draw on the facts, but I've got to use life experience.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge comes in where I've got to separate my character from my real life. And I mean, that's a choice as an actor. You've got to do that when you walk into the theatre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's essentially what your character is about. It's about a real character, of course, talking about, you know, as he writes Romeo and Juliet. And that's quite an interesting situation to be involved in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an honor to be playing such a well-known writer.
Yeah.
I always learned about him at school. I never fancied his writing, but I do now.
Definitely. Now we appreciate it. Back in the day, not so much. Roxanne, let's talk about your character. You play a bit of a dual role.
I do indeed.
Yeah.
So I play Viola de Lesseps. So she's a fictional character.
Yes.
And she's kind of set up as Shakespeare's muse and his inspiration for some of his later works, so Romeo and Juliet, Twelfth Night. And she is a lover of theatre and wants to do everything she can to be involved in the theatre, but back in the late 1500s, women were not allowed to act. So she disguises herself as a man, Thomas Kent, and she's got a wig and a moustache and binds her breast underneath her jacket. Sorry, that's a line from the play.
I find it so interesting. You're a woman who plays a woman pretending to be a man in the play.
Exactly.
Very, very wonderful.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's fun. It's been a really great challenge also to kind of get those male mannerisms, but still make it look like you're a woman trying to get the male mannerisms. So it can't be too convincing. It's like a good balance.
So many layers, so many layers. Well, Walter, you're English.
Yes, I am.
You come from the place where Shakespeare comes from.
do.
What is it like for you to bring this play to life for a South African audience?
Oh, it's very exciting. I mean, I've lived in London for 40 years, and I know London really, really well. And it's for me, it's just a really wonderful experience to actually go back 450 years in time and try to imagine what London was like at that time. You know, they've only recently in London excavated 2 Elizabethan theatre playhouses, which are in this play, the Curtain Theatre and the Theatre, 15 years ago, and they uncovered the foundations. and it's the theatre where Romeo and Juliet was put on for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And this is what we try to recreate and give a feeling of for the South African audience, is what was it like to be in this Elizabethan theatre playhouse rehearsing Romeo and Juliet for the first time with an Elizabethan troupe of players.
That's
very
powerful.
exciting.
I love it. Now, for those that were, of course, fans of the 1998 movie, what are you hoping South Africans will enjoy the most about your play?
I think there's lots of comedy in it for me. I mean,
Yes.
I got to watch it last year.
Yeah.
I wasn't in last year's production, and for me, the comedy, but also the characters are so colourful and flavoursome. Really
Each
jumped out
character
at me.
really shines and has its own unique aspect to it.
And-
And the romance, of course.
Yes.
The romance.
And our costume designer, Berry LaRue, has given us the most sumptuous Elizabethan costumes. They're absolutely beautiful.
Wow. And they fit like a glove. So amazing. Yeah,
yes,
really,
yes.
There's a dog as well.
Is
But we-
there?
yeah.
Yes. You guys
But you know
cast
what,
Bob in no, not it's another dog. Okay. Wonderful.
But the thing is, we not only have Shakespeare, but we've also got Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh, wow.
And
Yes.
Robin Sarah Scott does a sensational job and won the
Award-winning.
Fleur de Cap
Yes.
award for her performance.
Like we are, and now I'm super excited. I have to go and see it. Thank you so much, Walter. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you so much, Daniel, for being here and, of course, giving us a taste of what's to come. Now, the 2018 run of Shakespeare in Love at the Fugard Theatre in Cape Town is booking up until the 6th of October. So you have to make sure to book your tickets, which go from 200 Rand to 350 Rand by visiting thefugard.com.
Well, that Shakespeare is definitely one to watch. Now, I've always said the creatives are going to be the ones to change the world. An ad agency has designed artificial intelligence to spot where's Wally. How's that?
Wow, man.
That's coming up.
I'm useless at spotting Wally, man. Well, in the honour of Shakespeare, we've got our own travelling bard here, Brandon Lee Hunt, who is making his mark. He is one of those creatives who is changing the world one word at a time, and he's here to perform just for you. We'll see you in a moment.
Of Spanish guys performing behind you. That is so cool. Mariachi. Check 1, 2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And it's that time again for us to check out some of those interesting and funny and random things that we just stumble across on social media and decide to entertain you with this morning. And I'm sure that there's a cat story in there somewhere.
Of course.
Because we
Last
must.
week was International Cat Day, and we came across this really cool video of this little kitten that's completely transfixed by its owner playing the violin. Just take a look. It's adorable.
That is so cute.
That is such a cute thing. I can see why you like cats so
Your
much.
love for
There's so many
classical
adorable
music.
moments that happen there, but also dogs do exactly the same. How's the story of this dog cleaning a window? Basically, you know, doggy enjoys cleaning windows. We all know that cleaning windows is quite the chore. We don't like it. Here's a solution. Get a cute doggy to lick it for you. Now, this pup here, he seems to be keen to do their bit around the house and help out. So, I mean, who needs a window cleaner when you can just get a pet?
Yeah, I feel like the window will need to be cleaned again after that. There's so much spit on that window. And then last week, we spoke about physical development and exercise for your baby on the show. And then we happened to stumble across this really cute video of a dad and his little one doing some exercises. Look at this one. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to walk it up. Now walk it up.
Now walk it up.
There we
Look
go.
at the
There we
determination.
go.
You can see it all in his body language.
That's adorable.
That is, there we go.
Oh, yeah?
Some
Go,
squats.
go, go. Are you going to squat?
I'll just stay down here, Dad. We have to get another one. There's another one of a dad and his baby doing push-ups. I don't know if you've seen that one, but we have to get that one tomorrow. It is beyond cute.
Oh,
The cutest
adorable.
thing.
So cute.
But if you come across anything random, interesting, whether it's a cat, a dog, or a child, feel free to share with us. You can always head on over to our social media pages with that hashtag Expresso Show.
All right, after the sound check, I know I've been gushing a little bit, but he really is that good. We finally get to see Brandon Lee Hunt perform. He is a singer-songwriter in the truest sense of the phrase. He is going to perform now, forever, wherever you are.
All that I know, yes, it's come to an end. We can't carry on like this forever, my friends. All that I see, yes, it's good inside of you now. Do you see it too? I see it in you, it's true. All that I've learned with love in your heart, from wherever you are, you can make a new start. Forever, my friend, wherever you are. Forever, my friend, wherever you are. Forever, my friend, wherever you are. From wherever you are, you can make a new start. I see it in the sky, so I feel it in the breeze, so I see it in the water, the reflections of me. No, don't understand, I know castles made by man, rather feet in the sand while I'm walking this land. Yes, I see it in my mind, catch a smile in your eyes, so I hold it in my heart for a brand new start. All that I know, yes, it's come to an end. We can't carry on like this forever, my friends. Forever, my friends, wherever you are. Forever, my friends, wherever you are. Forever, my friend, wherever you are. From wherever you are, you can make a I know, yes, it's come to an end. We can't carry on like this forever, my friends. All that I see, yes, it's good inside of you now. Do you see it too? I see it in you, it's true. All that I've learned with love in your heart, from wherever you are, you can make a new start.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Oh, man, that was awesome. Thank you so much, man. The guitar skills are also just insane, man. We're going to continue getting performances. We're going to continue chatting to this incredible artist this morning. But you can share some love on social media. Let us know on all of our platforms. @Expresso Show is the handle to use. What did you think of that performance?
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Dr. Silas Ramaite as Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions. This marks Ramaite's third stint as an acting NPA head. This time, Ramaite replaces Sean Abrams, who was forced to vacate the office following the Constitutional Court ruling on Monday. Ramaite is currently the National Prosecution Authority's Deputy National Director, responsible for administration and the Office for Witness Protection. He has served as Deputy Director for 15 years. He holds several law degrees, including an LLD specializing in constitutional law from UNISA. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday also launched the government's plans to improve sanitation in rural schools and eradicate the pit latrine system in the country. The program, led by the Basic Education Department, follows the deaths of 2 young children who drowned in school pit latrines. About 4,000 schools across the country still use the pit toilets, and government now hopes to eradicate these. Ramaphosa called on business to join hands with government to realize a pit latrine-free society by 2030. Now moving further abroad, in 2020, Burundi will join a growing number of African countries to have banned plastic bags. President Pierre Nkurunziza has issued a decree prohibiting the manufacture, import, storage, sale and use of all plastic bags and other plastic packaging. It will come into effect in 18 months' time, allowing for the disposal of current stocks and orders already placed. More than 40 countries around the world have banned plastic bags, including Morocco, Rwanda and Kenya. And then finally, at least 35 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential rains yesterday morning over buildings in the northern Italian port city of Genoa. A 50-meter high section of the bridge, including one set that supports the tower above it, crashed down into the rain onto the roof of a factory and other buildings, crushing vehicles below and plunging huge slabs of reinforced concrete into the nearby riverbed. Now, Transport Minister Danilo Toninelli told Italian state television the disaster pointed to a lack of maintenance, adding that those responsible will have to pay. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Let's kick it off with cricket. Sri Lanka came out on top against the Proteas in their once-off T20 yesterday to round off their tour, thanks to a 3-wicket victory in Colombo. In a match where both teams, it must be said, struggled with the bat, South Africa were bowled out for just 98 in their innings. Sri Lanka's chase stuttered a little, but they managed to win the match with 3 wickets and 4 overs to spare. The Proteas next face off against Zimbabwe in an ODI series, and that gets underway on the 30th of September. In sticking with cricket, Proteas paceman and one of our favourite sons, Kagiso Rabada, has picked up the Wisden's Golden Boy of 2018 award, making him the best male cricketer under 23 in the world. Rabada finished top of the Wisden's under 23 list with Afghanistan's Rashid Khan in second and Proteas batsman Aiden Markram in third. Nungi Ngidi also got a nod, was the only other South African on the list, finishing in very credible 9th place. Congratulations to all of them. And in local football, still no win for Chiefs. The points were shared in the PSL last night as Kaizer Chiefs and Baraka FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Baraka went ahead in the 36th minute thanks to a Daniel Cardoso own goal, but the Soweto Giants equalized 7 minutes later through Sapiwe Chabalala. Tonight in the PSL, another big one. Pirates host Bidvest Wits at the Orlando Stadium, and kickoff for that is at 7:30 this evening. Then some sad news, albeit not entirely unexpected, in Formula 1. 2-time Formula 1 world champion Fernando Alonso has announced that he will retire from the sport at the end of the current season. Bringing to an end an incredible 17-season career, the 37-year-old's best results came back in 2005 and 2006 when he won the Drivers' Championship racing for Renault. Lonzo will be in action for McLaren, of course, this next weekend as the season heads to the Spa-Francorchamps track for the Belgian Grand Prix. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Let's take a quick look at the roads in Gauteng and Highveld. There's congestion on the in fact, of 30 minutes on the N1 southbound. It's between the Brakfontein interchange and Samrand Avenue. The average speed is only 10 kilometers per hour. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu-C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
A look at your 7 o'clock weather report. Louise Cherry is becoming really good at this and a really good person at sending those sunrise pictures through. She sent us this shot off the south coast, which looks absolutely amazing. Won't you look at that? I mean, have a look at that. It looks really, really breathtaking, Louise. That's really nice. You can expect temperatures to rise to a maximum of 22 over that side. But a look at your national temperatures. Polokwane, 11 and 28. Mbombela, 15 and 30. Pretoria, 11 and 27. Johannesburg, minimum of 10 and maximum of 25. Mahikeng, 13 and 30. Klerksdorp, starting off at 14 and a maximum of 29. Kimberley, 6 and 29. Bloemfontein has lows of 4 and highs of 26. Richards Bay, 18 and 29. It's cloudy there. Pietermaritzburg, 14 and 24. Durban, 18 and 22. Rainy Mthatha today is minimum 10 and maximum of 17. East London, 10 and 17 there as well. Craddock is 3 and 21. Port Elizabeth, 8 and 17. George, a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 15. Sutherland at -4 and a high of 12. Cape Town, 7 and 16. Worcester, 1 and 16. Springbok, 0 and a high of 17. Uppington, a minimum of 3 and maximum of 27. Remember to get those pictures through of your sunrise, capture them and send them through on our Facebook page. #Expresso Show.
Well, heading to social media, it seems like the hot topic right now has to be hashtag Sri Lanka versus South Africa, SL versus SA. And this person says, outstanding win by Sri Lanka. Low-scoring matches are always thrilling. Sri Lankan spinners were brilliant and great captaincy by Matthews. Of course, very, very happy for Sri Lanka's win there. Just going down, a lot of people saying Sri Lanka, question mark, question mark, question mark, won, beating South Africa in T20 in Colombo. Definitely quite excited there. And then cricket_expect, congratulations to our team members for their wins. So if you want to go and see what everybody has to say, just go and check out that hashtag right there, hashtag SL versus SA.
All right, so we're going to take the quickest of ad breaks. I'm just trying to get my head back into a rather interesting discussion. We're thinking of merging. We're talking about those blended families, how to introduce your child to a new step-parent specifically, and we'll continue that discussion after the break.
A very interesting one, and one of the things that I loved growing up is Where's Wally? I still love it to this day, but there's an ad agency that's created an AI machine or computer that can spot Wally. So we'll take a look at that after the break.
All Expresso presenters and guests fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom. Aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the presenters of Expresso and fly Mango.
Inspiration, and motivation that will allow us to build ourselves so that we can be the pillars of strength that our society needs. And today at the Young Motivators Camp, Woolworths, My School and Moot SA are offering a life-changing experience for 40 young men.
The Young Motivators Colleges Camp focuses on personal leadership development. It's about young men becoming active citizens and realizing their value to others.
Julia, so Moot South Africa specializes in life skills and development skills for young people, but this particular gathering is focused on young men. Now tell me why that's important to Moot.
So Moot is actually a Norwegian word and it stands for courage. So as we speak about courage, we're trying to build courageous, resilient,
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on SABC3. And for this year's Youth Day, My School and Woolworths, they teamed up with Moot SA to help raise funds to sponsor 50 young men to attend a youth leadership and life skills training camp. Expresso was lucky enough to attend the event and to meet some of the young men and to hear South African comedian, actor and author Nick Rabinowitz speak from the heart about his experience as a father.
As young South African males, we're in the constant search for aspiration, inspiration and motivation that will allow us to build ourselves so that we can be the pillars of strength that our society needs. And today at the Young Motivators Camp, Woolworths, My School and Moot SA are offering a life-changing experience for 40 young men.
The Young Motivators Colleges Camp focuses on personal leadership development. It's about young men becoming active citizens and realizing their value to others.
Julia, so Moot South Africa specializes in life skills and development skills for young people, but this particular gathering is focused on young men. Now tell me why that's important to Moot.
So Moot is actually a Norwegian word and it stands for courage. So as we speak about courage, we're trying to build courageous, resilient, strong young men in our society. And August is actually Women's Month and a lot of people are trying to figure out, so why are we focusing on the men? But the men have an extremely crucial role in society where they're actually looking after our young ladies and our women as their mothers and their daughters. So it's important that they understand that they show courage and they feel that courage to take up that role in society.
How did you come to deciding on the 50 young men that are here?
So these young men are already role models at our TVET colleges in the Western Cape. They are between the ages of 18 and 25 years old, and they are building inclusive cultures at their TVET colleges. They are the young men that are standing out of the crowd, and they are assisting the young men to grow up and to be really conscious of their role in the class, their role in society, and they have come back and they are building, helping Moot build what we call an inclusive culture.
And what can these guys expect from these sessions, and what's the end goal that you as an organization are hoping to achieve?
So we are hoping to achieve what their expectations are. And their expectations are, what I've spoken to them, they feel that they want better communication skills. They want to understand, okay, what is my role as a man in society? We actually asked them yesterday, how many have fathers? 90% of these 50 young men said they don't have role models that are father figures or don't even have fathers in their households. For us as Moot, we'd like to empower these young men with the necessary life skills to develop conscious choices and conscious thinking so that they can go out there and be positive role models, to be the leaders, to be the change in society. So that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to empower these young men with courage.
We had a belief that man is a person who's always strong, who doesn't cry, and is a person who must always protect people. But sometimes a man also need a strength, some kind of strength somewhere. So camps like this can prove to us that we really actually need a bit of strength as well. We need our own time that we find us, that we can change the world.
Ilian, my school is no stranger to supporting fantastic and inspiring causes, especially those that promote education and social development. And so for Youth Day this year, my school collaborated with Woolworths to support an organization that is focused particularly on young men, which is something that makes me very happy. Tell me about what motivated that.
Both Youth Day and Father's Day have got such great significance for us. And when you consider the crucial role that father figures play in developing young people, and especially young men, we realized that this would be a very unique opportunity for us to create an event for young men to challenge them to step up to becoming father figures in their communities, to become role models. So during June, we challenged South Africans to swipe their My School card every time they shop at Woolies. And every time, we would give extra on their behalf.
How can My School supporters continue to help Mood South Africa do their wonderful work?
So if you don't have a My School card yet, please sign up. It's as easy as filling in a form at a store, signing up online, or just download the app and get a virtual card. Every time you swipe, we'll give back on your behalf. It's so simple, but it's so effective.
Guest speaker for the Young Motivators Camp, South African comedian, actor and author Nick Rabinowitz spoke of his experience as a dad and shared his insights.
Nick, you're a father of 3 kids and you're a man who is respected in the public eye and admired by so many. What message do you have for these young gentlemen today, and how do you plan on getting that message across to them?
I don't really know what the message is yet. I know what the jokes are. So I guess the message is something about, life isn't about discovering yourself, it's about creating yourself. And how do you do that in the absence of a father? I think it's a very interesting and challenging question, and that's the most serious I've been in the last 10 years.
What does it mean to you to be a father to your children?
Being a father of integrity and keeping my agreements and my word to them, and being loving, but also being challenging when it's required. Who am I going to be for them? That they then get to model that in the world, because that's what we do as children. We model the parenting that we get, whether it's good or bad, or works or doesn't work. We copy that stuff.
And given where we are as a South African society, how do you see the role of men playing out?
There's such a focus on destructive masculine behavior, and I guess it's tough in communities where there's peer pressure to be a certain way, and for you to go, no, that actually is inconsistent with what I believe and who I am and my values. And that sometimes has some real consequences in difficult communities.
There's a lot of, in society, there's a lot of things that said, oh, this way is the better way to be a man. But I would say to guys out there, question that. Question it, what it is to be a man. Question what it is to be a future father to your kids that you're gonna have. Because there's a lot of role models out there, but you wanna choose for yourself and what's the best for that. And just being an encourager to other men and carry alongside those guys.
I would say, now it's time to break the silence. I mean, we know that you're men, and everyone can prove that. But it takes a real man to become actually a man within you. So you must utilize the opportunities and make sure that you change the world by being the real man.
Together, My School and Woolworths encourage you to get on board and support MUT SA to help shape and inspire our young men and women to create a better South Africa.
Now, if you don't have a My School card yet, you can download the free My School app. That's for your virtual card today and help raise funds towards MUT SA's next leadership camp, or you can get a My School card at any Woolworths store.
Well, we're back with our family therapist and social worker, Tayla Ressel. And of course, earlier on, we spoke about blended families and how they can better foster relationships between one another in order to make things successful. Tayla, so good to have you with us again.
Tayla, I think since I've known you, I've been calling you Taylor. So I apologise for that. But in the essence of blending,
yes.
we move on from these sorts of, we find a resolution. Tayla, I love the way that we first broached this, because it is a very difficult situation for any parent to enter into if we are struggling to find the words to broach this conversation. As a therapist, how do you get a family that is actually going through this to start that conversation? What words do you use? What triggers do you look for? Speaks directly now to those parents that are entering into this new phase.
Yeah. Well, I think, for the parents, they need to be open and honest. They need to be paying attention to what are the signs, how are their children managing, what can be spoken about, what's not allowed to be spoken about. Because if in the family the message is, we're not going to talk about how hard this is, just suck it up and get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't give the space to those feelings.
Pattern,
and it gets hidden, and it will eventually come out. That's the thing with any emotion. If you don't deal with it...
In therapy when you're 35 years old.
There we go. You know, we're keeping ourselves in business.
Yeah.
But it does need to be addressed. So I would encourage that for families.
I'm sure it's not an easy task. You know, you're coming from maybe different schools of thoughts, maybe different ways of raising your children,
Religion.
and then you come into a situation where there is a biological parent and a step parent, and now you've got to come to a consensus as to how you're going to raise these children. How does one go about doing that?
Again, that communication, it's so key. You're going to have to talk about the practicalities. Who's in charge of what?
Yeah.
And for discipline, who's going to handle that when it comes to pocket money or finances? Dealing with the exes, because, I mean, that's part of the world. Are you now going to have a half-sibling for these children? All those things are going to have to be negotiated and discussed between the adults, but then also with the children. These discussions, you know, step-siblings. If we think about siblings themselves, how much rivalry there is and fighting and jealousy, now we add the added layer where there is the dynamic of you're not my parent and you did this and now we have to share a room and I don't like you.
I love that you said consensus. I think like once the adults have consensus amongst themselves and there's no fighting, because the minute they're fighting amongst themselves, you've forgotten about the children and they're lost in a situation where they're also confused.
Exactly.
And I suppose getting to a point, this is an opportunity for you as an adult, and we know these are all very grown-up emotions that the children are experiencing, but you as the adults have an opportunity to process and arrive at a better place. I think one of the tipping points is going to be how involved that step-parent is in the child's life, even down to like extracurricular activities, things like that, when the other biological parent is still in the fold. I'm thinking in my case, if there are two dads involved, I want to be the guy that is taking him to rugby match or her to netball or going to watch plays and recital. How do you navigate that? Is there a line, or again, is it just communication?
I think communication obviously depends on age of the children and the family composition and how involved each one wants to be. But I think if we have to set a guideline, I would say to the step parent, be respectful of the biological parent. You're not there to step in and replace them. You're there as a support to the other parent. And that can be the starting point. It may develop further over time. And the same for the biological parent. Respect the role of the step parent. It's somebody in your child's life, and the more people they have, the better. So respect that role and avoid the bad mouthing.
Oh, they can have like a cheerleading team on the side of the field.
Exactly. Wouldn't you want more people loving and supporting your child?
Absolutely. Any final advice for blended families?
Give it time. Don't take it personally. If the child is responding negatively or throwing all their anger and frustration at you, the step parent. Give it space for yourself, for real feelings to develop. And again, like with everything, talk, and talk some more. Have those family meetings where you talk about, who's going to use the bathroom first and what order are we going to, do priorities of game night or something. Have those conversations.
I love it. And I think just closing it off, of course, kids, you have a voice in this. I know a lot of young people are going through this right now, watching this. But you also have a responsibility to look after yourself in the sense that you just need to speak up, talk to your parents, speak to someone in the mix, because they will listen if you ask those questions. But Tayla, thank you so much.
Sure,
That was enlightening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We need your help, and we believe that each of us can make a difference, but together we can make a change. And at Expresso, we've chosen to make a difference in the lives of children with cancer. CHOC, that's the Childhood Cancer Foundation, their aim is to ease the burden by providing access to relevant information as well as emotional and practical support.
Now, we would love for you to get involved and help us raise funds towards buying a new home away from home for cancer patients and their families. Now, you can donate through SnapScan, Zapper, BackaBuddy or EFT. The SnapScan QR code will be visible on your screen for the next hour, available for you to scan and help us make a difference.
It really is that easy. But if you need more information, you can always head on over to Expresso's Facebook page or check out our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Every day that brave young kids and their families battle cancer, the CHOC Childhood Cancer Foundation supports them. And here at Expresso, we'd love you to help us fund their newest CHOC home in Pretoria. SnapScan makes it easy to donate. Download the app, scan the code, and donate. For more details, visit the Expresso website.
Just seeing those kids makes me miss them so much. Aww. That's such a cool dynamic. We all have a role to play, guys. Please, even just 10 Rand, get on it right now. Then, of course, after the break, we're going to answer one of the great mysteries of life. Where's Wally? In fact, this was such a big question for an ad agency that they've actually created an AI to find Wally.
Man, Wally used to give me anxiety, man. I don't know how I feel about this, but I do know how I feel about music, and we're going to check out the 5FM local and international chart after the break.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso on SABC3. Time for us to now get into a little bit of a tech update. And Graham, the first thing you said is this is so cool.
Honestly, this is one of the coolest things we've reported on all year ever on this show. Now we know access to watching live sport is one of the most frustrating things, one of the most costly things that fans across the world have to deal with. And in some countries, just being able to watch a game live is near impossible. Well, step in Facebook. Yesterday, it was revealed that the social media network has bought the rights to broadcast every single game of the upcoming La Liga season in South Africa, every game. So this includes other countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan as well. And Facebook will allow all their users in those countries to watch all 380 matches for free. In India alone, Facebook has an estimated 240 million users, and they're hoping that this will be a foot in the door to grow their user base throughout the region.
Yeah. Definitely.
Did I say South Africa? It's South Asia.
Oh,
my
sorry
bad.
for the South Africans that thought this
You can
was
see how much I
correct.
believe there.
It's okay.
I can't.
It's okay, but you know what? This
Can we
is
scrap this
smart.
whole story altogether
This
and
is
just throw it out
smart
the window?
because during
It
the
is
La Liga
so clever.
games,
So
Facebook
clever.
will utilize it as an advertising platform. Boom, they'll make their money even though they're broadcasting it for free.
And people watch these. There's a reason why broadcasters pay such massive amounts because they know they're going to get advertising revenue. And if they can do that through a limited gateway with the big sporting events like the World Cups and things, why not do it every day? And most of us are on social media commenting on these matches anyway. That is brilliant. Why South Africa has been disenfranchised to this degree, I just don't know.
We'll figure it out.
But
You've
we know
planted that seed.
Mark, if you're watching on my cam, please, South Africa, buddy.
We've planted that seed now, but you know what? When it comes to where's Wally, or a lot of Americans would say where's Waldo, finding the little guy can be tricky. But there is a copy. In fact, it is a ad agency. They're called Red Pepper, and they've kind of ruined it by creating an AI program that can spot Wally in something ridiculous like 4.5 seconds using facial recognition. So a lot of people that struggle with it, they've come up with an AI program that can spot him.
Let's
look
have
at
a
that.
look there. It's even got
Boom,
a
they
dodgy
find
hand.
him. I don't even know where he is right here. Boom, boom, boom,
Come
boom.
on.
Where is Wally?
Where's he?
There he is.
Ah, look at him. There he is. I don't know about the dodgy prosthetic hand that they've attached to the
Why
robot.
not a pointy finger?
Some people have far too much time on their hand, but that is awesome. So that's what we've been taking in our daily tech updates. Absolutely cool stuff. Please, Mark, bring La Liga to South Africa. But you can let us know what tech stories have caught your attention this morning. Hit us up on our social media platforms, even Facebook.
In the national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Dr. Silas Ramaite as Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions. Ramaite is currently the National Prosecution Authority's Deputy National Director, responsible for administration and the Office for Witness Protection, and has served as Deputy Director for 15 years. President Cyril Ramaphosa also yesterday launched the government's plans to improve sanitation in rural schools and eradicate the pit latrine system in the country. About 4,000 schools across the country still use pit toilets, and government now hopes to eradicate these by 2030. On the international front, in 2020, Burundi will join a growing number of African countries to have banned plastic bags. President Pierre Nkurunziza has issued a decree prohibiting the manufacture, import, storage, sale and use of all plastic bags and other plastic packaging. And then finally, at least 35 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential rains yesterday morning over buildings in the northern Italian port city of Genoa. A 50-meter high section of the bridge, including one set that supports the tower above it, crashed down in the rain onto buildings and vehicles below. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have another full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Cricket first, Sri Lanka came out on top against the Proteas in their season series ending once off T20 yesterday thanks to a 3-wicket victory in Colombo yesterday. Then sticking with cricket, the Proteas paceman Kagiso Rabada has picked up the Wisden's Golden Boy of 2018 award, making him the best male cricketer under 23 in the world. On the footballing front, the points were shared in the PSL last night as Kaizer Chiefs and Baraka FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Peter Mokaba Stadium tonight. Now the big one, Pirates hosting Wits. Kickoff for that is at 7:30. Then some sad news in Formula One. Two-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso has announced that he will retire from the sport at the end of the current season. More on all of those stories on the top of the hour.
Well, let's take another look at the roads in Gauteng and Bedford View. There's been an accident. It's at the Gululis interchange and it's causing traffic to be backed up on the N3 northbound as well as at the N12 R24 highway westbound. And moving to Boyson's, traffic's backed up on the M1 northbound approaching the Crown interchange. That's where I leave your traffic for this morning. I'll have a final update for you at 8 o'clock.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Okay, so it's around 7:30 in the morning. Most parts of the country will start seeing those beautiful sunrises coming through. Get those pictures and send them to us on our Facebook page, #Expresso Show. Let's have a look at your weather temperatures across the country. Polokwane, 11 and 28. Mbombela, 15 and 30. Pretoria, 11 and 27. Johannesburg, minimum of 10 and a maximum of 25. If you're in Mahikeng, brace yourself for a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 30. Klerksdorp, 14 and 29. Kimberley, 6 and 29. Bloemfontein, a low of 4 and a high of 26. Richards Bay, cloudy with a low of 18 and a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg is at 14 and maximum 24. Durban, 18 and 22. Mthatha, 10 and 17. East London, a low of 10 and highs of 17. Craddock, it's 3 and 21. Port Elizabeth, 8 and 17. In George, it's 7 and a maximum of 15. Sutherland, -4, but make it a maximum of 12. Cape Town, the mother city, is at 7 and 16 with a beautiful sunrise coming through behind me. It's spectacular. I can't wait to finish so I can look at it. Worcester, 1 and a maximum of 16. Springbok, brace yourself for 0, but highs of 17, as well as Uppington at a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 27. Your next weather report will be at 8 o'clock.
Well, let's take a look at this week's 5FM Top 40 local and international chart show. Drake's doing really well. He's got a record of 3 singles on the show at the moment. And I can promise you, Kiki loves you. Stay in your car, keep that seatbelt on. Do not do that.
Oh man, I love it. An easy freak, of course, flying that South African flag. But who will be this week's #1? We better find out from the handman.
What's going on, guys? Nick Hammond here to recap the 5FM Top 40 from this past weekend. And like we always do, let's begin by jumping in and looking at the brand new entries onto the charts. And speaking of which, this first one, it's local. It's at number 40. It's from Shoma Josie. It's called Huku. The second new entry pick that I decided to highlight came in just 1 point ahead at number 39. It's new music from Tom Budden and Copa, funky dance tunes on 5FM called Things Change.
Things change, things change.
Time to get into my mover and shaker picks for the week on the 5FM Top 40. The first one is a re-entry sitting at number 35. It's coming from A$AP Rocky. This one quite not yet able to hold on to the top 40 for more than 2 weeks in a row, but still set to become a big hit in the future. It's called Praise the Lord.
I praise the Lord and break the law. I take what's mine and take some more.
My second mover and shaker, also a re-entry this week, this time at number 26. It's local music from the boys originally from Durban, taking over the SA musical landscape. It's Easy Freak with Good Times.
Like a Super Bowl deal on the good times, nothing wrong with some good wine, not too much.
Time to get into the top 10 right now, beginning at number 10 from the biggest hits from this past weekend. It's music from Jonas Blue and Jack and Jack called Right. Number 9, we wish her all the best in the world after following the revelations of her battling with drug abuse. It's Demi Lovato and Clean Bandit at 9 with Solo.
But I got nobody, so I do it so low.
Shekinah and Murray Shan, local music, taking your number 8 spot this week on 5FM with a track called Different. Number 7, this song is off the soundtrack to the second season of 13 Reasons Why, a show that this lady produces. It's Selena Gomez with Back to You.
I know I go back to you.
LMA from the UK, the breakout star, takes your number 6 spot, teaming up with Nicki Minaj, called Boot Up. Back-to-back UK acts now again at number 5. Halfway through the back end of the top 10 is Georgia Ezra with a tune called Shotgun.
I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone.
Sampling a classic at number 4 is J Balvin, Cardi B, and Bad Bunny. I Like It. They came out as one of the biggest bands in the world, disappeared for some time, and now are back on the scene. It's 5 Seconds of Summer at number 3 with Young Blood. At your number 2 spot, a former number 1 dropping down now for 2 weeks in a row at the 2nd position on the charts. It's Maroon 5 and Cardi B with Girls Like You. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to keep listening to me, Nick Hammond, on Hammond Time, Monday to Fridays, 9 to 12. And of course, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to find out who's going to take that number 1 spot on the 5FM Top 40. And speaking of which, this past weekend off his album Scorpion, it's gone once again to Drake with In My Feelings.
From the block like you Jenny. I know you special, girl, cause I know too many. Risha, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave beside me.
Hey, I love that. Yo, Kiki.
That's a way to get into the midweek. Kiki, we love you.
Oh, we love you,
listen,
Kiki.
I mean, this is the kitchen, my favorite place to be. We're going to be checking out Chili Con Carne Tacos with tomato and onion salsa happening here. I'm excited. I can't wait to
I love it when you speak foreign. Absolutely amazing. And then we need another performance from our artist this morning. Brandon Lee Hunt is in studio and he's blowing us away. He'll do it again after the break.
It's tough getting up in the morning. That's why for breakfast, I'm making eggs Benedict. Get it? I just love a good food pun. Share your photo and recipe of your favorite winter dish with the hashtag #ForTheLoveOfWinter, and you could win 5,000 Rand in weekly prizes and stand a chance to win a grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Rhodes Quality, for the love of winter.
Rise and shine with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso.
I don't like Michael Jackson, but this is a good start.
Oh.
I don't like Michael Jackson, but this is a good start.
Oh.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. I hope you've had some breakfast, filled up those coffee cups. We're about to jump into some international entertainment news.
Beef. Tea, everything. Everybody's fighting. Well, you know Safari, right? Yeah. Well, he claims that Nicki Minaj went after him with a knife, stabbing him so severely that he went to the hospital with the ambulance. He says that, but she says, of course, that he's a liar. Safari, who broke up with Nicki in 2014, just tweeted, "Remember the night you cut me and I almost died? The police and ambulance had to take me out the crib on a stretcher, and I had to lie and tell them I was trying to kill myself so they wouldn't take you to jail." Well, then Nicki fired back, "You stole my card and told me that you thought it was an account with free money and that I didn't know about." And she says, "God will strike you down and more for lying."
I like how you try and sound like Nicki in that moment.
I could be more Nicki, but I'm deciding not to, okay?
This is a wild story, a wild story.
Yeah, because according to TMZ, they're actually seen in a video where Nicki is chasing Safari with a knife back in 2014. Like, this is crazy.
It's so wild.
You know,
it's
this
so
is
sad
ratchet.
It's ratchet.com. When relationships end and people just go and take it to town. Like, honestly, like, I've never seen anything like
this. This is too ghetto fabulous. Guys, we had Wakanda, okay? We can't be ghetto, all right? But this was before Wakanda, so we have to do better.
It's a long time ago.
But
we have to do
why
better.
is he bringing it up now? It's 4 years later.
Yeah, he's probably looking for some money, you know, maybe the...
Because I was about to ask, who is Safari?
That's why he's looking for money.
Good question.
Because we're all asking, who is Safari? Well, somebody else who is making headlines for the wrong reasons, Sam Smith found himself in a little bit of hot water on social media this week over his professed distaste for Michael Jackson. So taking a short break from his Thrill of It All world tour last week, Smith was on a boat trip off the California coast with a fellow singer and longtime pal, Adam Lambert, when he was caught proclaiming his dislike for Michael Jackson's music. So Lambert posted an Instagram video, Lambert, friends never do that to friends. And he basically, you could hear Sam Smith saying, "I don't like Michael Jackson, but this is a good song." And this is referring to Michael's 1982 hit Human Nature, and it plays playing in the background. Now, possibly predicting the reaction of Smith's remark would arouse, you know, the fans, Lambert deleted the video shortly thereafter. Too late, buddy, we already saw it. Unfortunately for Smith, his comment was captured by posterity, or rather for posterity, by Music News Facts. So,
the scariest thing is, like, Adam Lambert posted a small snippet of what happened there on that day. So there's not much context to him making that statement.
True. Exactly.
Which is so dangerous.
It's so dangerous, but I mean, context or no context, like, you don't come up against the fans, yo.
No, you don't.
The die-hard fans of Michael Jackson.
But your true friends also don't post videos like that of you.
You know, it's like, and I always see, you know, Kim Kardashian doing this when she's doing a selfie and someone's talking, she's like, "Please don't talk about anybody or don't swear because I'm about to post and you're going to be caught on camera."
Yeah.
So that's what a friend should do.
You just need to be a little bit more aware that there's cameras all over the place.
Yeah.
Hi,
Sam.
Hi, Sam. But that was your international entertainment news. We'll have to see what's cooking in the kitchen, whether it's beef or chicken.
Tell you what's cooking, San Giorgio. The taco evolution is upon us. So say hello to Gabi's hashtag for the love of winter, Chili Con Carne Taco that packs a flavor punch, rather, served with a tomato and onion salsa. It's a little taste of Mexico from the comfort of your own home, made with some Rhodes Quality. San Giorgio.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fun, and you?
It honestly took me about 6 months to get used to that.
What?
I missed the Expresso, but San Giorgio.
Well,
it just rolls off the tongue.
Some people are like, well, what should we call you? I'm like, I don't know. Whatever you feel, whatever you feel.
You're married, girl.
I should actually. I should have hyphenated it.
Just get it right.
I just thought it was a bit of a mouthful, at the time.
Speaking of mouthful,
yes.
Gabs, these look amazing. I'm seeing predominantly vegan action going on here, but something that has got a massive flavor profile in terms of all these little additions, and of course our Rhodes Quality tomato and onion mix, our salsa vibes. What is going on here? What are you making?
So what we're doing is basically a protein, obviously your veggie protein-packed chili con carne. And the nice thing is this is today we filled it with tacos and did a beautiful Rhodes Quality tomato salsa. But what also you can do with this is you can actually just have it with a little bit of bread at home and literally like kind of scoop it up or even just eat it as is. You almost like treat it like a mince, except obviously it's beans, which is amazing because it's great for vegetarians and great and natural protein.
I really like this because also it's when you're trying to stick to whether it's a vegan diet or a healthier diet that seems to keep you in a very limited lane, being able to introduce different textures, different proteins on the vegetable side is so, it's actually vital.
No, but it is. I've actually recently gone fully vegetarian. And it's been quite interesting to get all that protein in as well because it's very easy to get your carbs in. So beans, especially the Rhodes Quality beans, they're chickpeas I have on a regular basis because they're natural high in protein. And you also can make your own hummus with it as well, which is awesome.
Very special.
Yeah. So what I've done now is I've chucked in onion, I've chucked in some peppers, so red and yellow peppers, the Rhodes Quality chickpeas, and we've got some black beans over here. They've also got a nice mixed tin as well, which you could also just throw in as well to make your life easier. And also the nice thing with this is if you have time, slow cook it. So kind of slow cook your onion for 20 minutes, add your peppers. So slow cook it, but if you don't, you actually still get a really beautiful flavor by just...
It can be fresh and pack a punch, so your wedding ring keeps blinding me as it catches the light, so it's just difficult on this side of the studio.
Sorry.
So I've missed I'm just teasing you about it. What I love is, obviously, you've kind of worked in the fitness professional space as well, so you would know what's needed to not only just maintain incredibly long days as an entrepreneur, but balancing it out. So those people who think that if you're living a more physical life, that you have to rely on animal-based proteins, it's not necessarily true.
No, but it is true. And it's definitely like, it's a lot more prep time to think. But when you have recipes like this, it makes your life a lot easier.
So the keyword here is Rhodes to 33728 if you'd like us to send this ingenious taco recipe to you. We will do it. Okay, so what's next?
So what we've done is this is going to be reducing on the stove, and eventually it will look like this, as you will see, like beautifully slow-cooked, reduced. What I've also done sometimes, which you can do at this point or at home, is we've done some beautiful sweet potato to also just thicken it up as well, which is quite nice.
And roast that off is always the best.
Exactly.
Sweet potato, I think,
exactly. Roast a sweet potato if you have time, obviously. And all we do is we kind of chuck it in here, and you kind of do a bit of a mix. So this will obviously be your chili con carne.
This is the base, yeah.
So if you could just continue stirring that for me,
you've got a number of different proteins in there, but it's the colours, it's the textures, it's got a bit of zing, a bit of bite.
Exactly.
What you need, I think, if you're going vegetarian or vegan, you need to have a strong, dominant flavour.
No, definitely. So what I've got here, we just got to, we want to save water saving. We're using the same spoon here, because you can.
Well, it's all in a mix, yeah.
What we're going to do is we've got a beautiful tomato salsa. So I'm going to take a few tablespoons of the Rhodes Quality tomato and onion mix. And I've got some coriander, some garlic, and some chili. So this makes a really, really beautiful base as your salsa. And you can also... if you want to kind of add some extra red onion as well, if you like that, that bit of a crunch as well.
Bites, and it also has a sweetness as well, because we've got a complete balance of flavours here, which I think is also important in this kind of space. You want the texture, but you also want a bit of zing, you want a bit of sour, you want a bit of sweet, which we've got with the peppers.
Definitely. So we obviously got our salsa here. We've got it. Also, so if you are vegan, obviously omit your sour cream. If you aren't, then add it in, which is also like typical for a taco. And now it's about filling it ready. So we've got our shell. What we're going to do is we're going to fill in with some of our chili con carne.
If you want to be really fancy, you can, of course, create your own shells, but I would recommend buying one of the many varieties that are out there. This is absolute genius. Again, that key word is Rhodes. Of course, using our Rhodes Quality mixers for this is 33728 SMS, Rhodes 33728, and we will send it right to you. We're going to finish dressing these last ones up, but thank you so much. Miss San Giorgio, Mrs. San Giorgio, so good to have you back in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Of course, we know that the Rhodes Quality hashtag for the Love of Winter competition is here as well, and you guys stand the chance of winning the last 5,000 Rand weekly prize. Wouldn't that be nice? And a chance at that 100,000 Rand grand prize. All you have to do is share a picture and a recipe of your Rhodes Quality winter dish with hashtag for the Love of Winter on the Rhodes Quality Facebook or Instagram page. Entries are open until tomorrow, so get on it right now. Maybe give us a variation of these tacos. But after that, of course, our celebrity chef Zola Nene will pick the 2 winning entries who will battle it out for the grand prize. And all of the terms and conditions, as always, apply. But visit rhodesquality.com to get those and more inspiration. Gabs, you are a genius.
Thanks, eh?
Love it, man.
Rhodes Quality, for the love of winter.
We are serving you midweek awesomeness. Brandon Lee Hunt is in studio and he's going to be performing and taking us home after the break.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. And then we have Anel Potgieter and Jenny Morris in studio. The Culinary hotline, bling. There we go. Our lines are open. Call us now, 021 430 9881. We'll see you after the break.
Check 1, 2.
I woke up today, my troubles seemed so far away. Well, I threw caution to the wind, watch my troubles blow away. Yeah, something much fuller.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to head to the socials. We need to find out the answer to our emoji game that we played this morning. We know that it's a song, 2 words in the title, and then these funny-looking emojis. And of course, the clue that we gave you was that this is a song by a K-pop boy band from their album Love Yourself. And can you guess what it is? Yes, there were a few that got it right. Genevieve says, In My Feelings, Drake. Black says, In My Feelings, Drake. No, that is not incorrect. Sipesitle was the first one to get it right. It is called Fake Love. That is the song. And then, of course, Sean with BTS. No question marks needed. That is the answer. The artist BTS and the song Fake Love.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Dancing into your birthdays. Every day, millions of people across the world celebrate their birthdays all over the world. So as we welcome today, the 15th of August, we take a moment to wish some celebrities and you a happy birthday.
Well, let's kick it off with some of the celebs. Today marks the 28th birthday of American actress Jennifer Lawrence, who also has appeared in The Hunger Games. She played in the X-Men Files series and won an Oscar for Best Actress for her role in A Silver Linings Playbook.
And fellow Hollywood star and Oscar winner Ben Affleck is also celebrating his birthday today. Affleck is known for films such as Argo and Armageddon, as well as being in the most recent film depiction of the superhero Batman.
And apart from the celebs, we also want to wish you a happy birthday. And we're going to give a very special happy birthday to twins Mika and Kayla, celebrating their 5th birthday today, so happy birthday to you. We also would love to wish another young viewer, Aria, who's celebrating her 1st birthday. And then last but not least, our very own viewer, well, we also want to wish our viewer, Dina, a happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for sending through your birthday request.
Happy birthday, everyone. That's a bite size of your birthdays today. Remember, you can share your birthday with us or wish your loved ones by tweeting us at Expresso Show.
Oh man, cannot wait. Time for another performance from our star performer this morning, singer-songwriter who has come home to Cape Town recently after spending the majority of his life in Durbs, which makes this next song very apt. It is Home.
Today my troubles seem so far away, 'cause I threw caution to the wind. Yes, I watched my troubles blow away. They whispered everything that you need, it's here for you. Just open up your heart. Said everything that you need, it's here, it's true. It's no surprise to see the sun rising. Well, every day just for you and me. It's setting in the mountains below the evergreen. Hey. Oh, I'm giving into the light. I render myself a free man. Not living for nobody, living to my plan. Feels like I've just come home to myself. It feels like, can you tell me what it feels like? Freedom, when you've got your knickers in a knot. It's freedom, when you're having issues of the heart. It's freedom, when you know you've got to be apart. It's freedom, don't carry the pain in your heart, no. See the sun rising. Well, every day just for you and me. It's setting in the mountains below the evergreen. The evergreen. 'Cause when I woke up today, my troubles seemed so far away. Well, I threw caution to the wind. Yes, I watched my troubles blow away.
Yeah, man. I think I just feel my troubles floating away, man. That was awesome. Just watching you play, as someone who's completely non-musical, I'm always amazed to see guys who seem to play the guitar with kind of, it almost seems like an impromptu freedom, like you're playing something that you could have sung the song independently to playing the guitar, yet the two harmonize and weave together so beautifully. How does a song start from you? Is it from an idea, a word, a written word, a guitar riff? How do you go through that process?
Yeah, generally it's just start with a guitar riff, and then I identify with what the music's making me feel, and I try to identify with that emotion, and then the lyrics just tend to come from there.
Does it change when you're performing in different places? Do you find like you'll get off the stage and you'll be like, wow, okay, that was new?
Yeah, jeez. I mean, every gig is kind of different. But the one thing I think that does work to kind of like keep your songs meaningful is I just pray before every gig, and it kind of like just seems to center me and take it from there.
Oh, you can feel it, dude. What a pleasure and honor having you here, dude, and sharing that with you, man. Please go and support this Oak on social media. Go and look at his stuff on YouTube as well. I know you've just launched a new YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's going to be, yeah, it'll be under my Instagram handle, Meraki Native. So Meraki means like everything you do with a piece, like your creativity, a piece of your soul and love and everything that you do. So that's kind of like my YouTube handle is @Meraki Native.
Yeah, it's the reason why you fit in so well on this set, man. Absolutely awesome having him here. Thank you so much for that. Again, you can share some love on our social media platforms. @Expresso Show is the handle to use.
In the national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Dr. Silas Ramaite as Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions. Now, this marks Ramaite's third stint as an acting NPA head. This time, Ramaite replaces Sean Abrams, who was forced to vacate the office following the Constitutional Court ruling on Monday. He's currently the National Prosecution Authority's Deputy National Director, responsible for administration and the Office for Witness Protection. He has served as Deputy Director for 15 years. He holds several law degrees, including an LLD specializing in constitutional law from UNISA. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday also launched the government's plans to improve sanitation in rural schools and eradicate the pit latrine system in the country. Now, the program, led by the Basic Education Department, follows the deaths of 2 young children who drowned in school pit latrines. About 4,000 schools across the country still use the pit toilets, and government now hopes to eradicate these. Ramaphosa called on business to join hands with government to realize a pit latrine-free society by 2030. Now, moving further abroad, in 2020, Burundi will join a growing number of African countries to have banned plastic bags. President Pierre Nkurunziza has issued a decree prohibiting the manufacture, import, storage, sale and use of all plastic bags and other plastic packaging. It will come into effect in 18 months' time, allowing for the disposal of current stocks and orders already placed. More than 40 countries around the world have banned plastic bags, including Morocco, Rwanda and Kenya. And then finally, at least 35 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential rains yesterday, over buildings in the northern Italian port city of Genoa. Now, a 15-meter high section of the bridge, including one set that supports the tower above it, crashed down in the rain onto the roof of a factory and other buildings, crushing vehicles below and plunging huge slabs of reinforced concrete into the nearby riverbed. Transport Minister Danilo Tolinelli says that told Italian state television the disaster pointed to a lack of maintenance, adding that those responsible will have to pay. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here is a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
In cricket, Sri Lanka came out on top against the Proteas in their series ending once off T20 yesterday, thanks to a 3-wicket victory in Colombo. In a match where both teams, it must be said, struggled with the bat, South Africa were bowled out for just 98 in their innings. Definitely not enough. Sri Lanka's chase did stutter a little, but they managed to win the match with 3 wickets and 4 overs remaining. So the Proteas, they'll reboot and face Zimbabwe in an ODI series that gets underway on the 30th of September. Then sticking with cricket, Proteas paceman and one of our favourite sons, Kagiso Rabada, has picked up the Wisden's Golden Boy of 2018 award, making him the best male cricketer under the age of 23 in the world. Rabada finished top of the Wisden's under-23 list with Afghanistan's Rashid Khan in second and Proteas batsman Aiden Markram in third. Lungi Ngidi also got the nod as the only other South African on the list as he finished in a very credible 9th place, so congratulations to all of them. Then locally in football, still no win for Chiefs. The points were shared in the PSL last night as Kaizer Chiefs and Morocco FC played out to a 1-1 draw at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Morocco went ahead in the 36th minute thanks to a Daniel Cardoso own goal, but the Soweto Giants equalised 7 minutes later through Sipiwe Chabalala. So tonight in the PSL, another big one. Pirates hosting Bidvest Wits. We've had a fantastic start to their season, and that's at Orlando Stadium. Kickoff at 7:30. Then finally, some sad, albeit not completely unexpected news coming out of the world of Formula 1. 2-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso has announced that he will retire from the sport at the end of the current season, bringing an end to an incredible 17-season career. The 37-year-old's best results came back in 2005 and 2006 when he won the Drivers' Championship racing with Renault at the time. Alonso will next be in action for McLaren now next weekend as the season heads to the Spa-Francorchamps track for the Belgian Grand Prix. And that's a wrap of our sport for this Wednesday morning.
Well, let's take a quick final look at the roads in the Western Cape and Kuils River. There's an accident on the R300 northbound. It's before Van Riebeek Road, and that right lane's been closed. You can expect delays on that route. And that's where we leave your traffic this morning.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
All throughout the morning, we've asked you to send us those sunrise pictures that you're experiencing, but we've decided to join in the fun. We have a beautiful sunrise this morning. Won't you have a look at that? Beautiful here in Sea Point, Cape Town, but it is a bit chilly with expected max of 16, and as it goes in Cape Town, rain is just around the corner. Let's get into your final report of the traffic across the country. Weather, rather, Polokwane 11 and 28, Mbombela 15 and 30, Pretoria starting off at 11 and ending off at a maximum of 27, Johannesburg 10 and 25, Mahikeng 13 and 30, Klerksdorp 14 and 29, Kimberley a low of 6 and highs of 29, Bloemfontein 4 and ending off at maximum 26, Richards Bay 18 and 29. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, it's 14 and 24, Durban, the playground of South Africa, 18 and 22, Mthatha is minimum 10 and maximum 17, East London also rainy with a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 17. Craddock is 3 and 21. Port Elizabeth 8 and 17. George is 7 and maximum of 15. Sutherland starting off at -4 and a maximum of 12. In the mother city, it's 7 and a maximum of 16. Worcester is 1 and high of 16. Springbok, 0 and a high of 17. Uppington is 3, maximum 27. That's your final weather report for the morning.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. The City of Cape Town, they've got a great initiative to create a safe haven for those who are homeless. We'll bring you more on that story after the break.
And then you know when you see these two gorgeous faces, Jenny and Anel, we are going to be helping you with all of your culinary conundrums on the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. After the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only
Man, I wish I could sing Miss Cats on days like this. It's a Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. We've got the gorgeous Anel Potgieter and, of course, the equally gorgeous Chef Jenny Morris on our foodie panel this morning. And, of course, we're putting it out to you. Try and burn them with a question this morning. A burning question that has been burning your mind. Ladies, so good to have you here. I see you brought the real gourmet stuff of brown bread this morning, but this is an opportunity for us to bust those myths, to answer those really difficult questions, and we want to hear from you. 021-430-9881. Give us a call. They really, I think, do know everything.
No, no one knows everything. So if you try and burn us and we don't know it, we'll learn it.
No, we're all on the same team here, and we love to hear from you. And we really do love the fact that you guys give us some really cool conundrums and amazing things to broach. And some of them seem quite simple, but it's often, you know, where we get caught out in the simple stuff. So I'm going to open with a question from Wanda Shawsey, who connected with us on Facebook. She is asking, might seem simple, what is the difference between a sauce and a paste?
You want to go first?
Yeah. There's a paste. Can you just give that to me, Graham? So this is a paste. So a paste is much more concentrated. I think this is a tomato paste.
Yeah.
So it's much more concentrated. And it's just tomatoes boiled with a little bit of water and salt. There's nothing else. So you have to, when you use it, dilute it again to use it.
Would it be used as a thickener?
No, not really. Flavour, depth in a dish.
Because it's so concentrated, it adds huge amount of flavour.
And colour.
Yeah, and colour.
Beautiful colour.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go to for bolognese as well. That for me.
And then a sauce.
This sauce.
The sauce is all runny and gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it has things in it. And you can add things to a sauce and enhance it. But I mean, I love a paste because when you're frying your onions, I like to fry it out in there so it really, really intensifies.
It gets a punch. And that would require a much, would you create pastes before doing something yourself? Is that something you do, or do you go generally for a store?
You can actually buy them.
Yeah, I think it's easier to buy them, the paste. And then the sauces is stunning for, especially me, that don't have time to cook in the evening. So you take your sauce like a chicken korma sauce and just add your chicken and then you add the sauce. Then everything is inside already. That's what a sauce is.
Love it, but that's
everything is inside.
I think this is where the nuance of cooking really comes to bear. A good chef, it's all about the sauce. I love that.
Yeah.
Then I'm hoping we can get this caller, connect with this caller, because we had a brilliant call from last week. So please phone in. Wendy from Durban.
Wendy, phone us.
Every Wendy in Durban, you're welcome to call in right now. But we try to give you a call, but you're not picking up your phone, which is very rude. But she asked, and this is an interesting one, when she baked a brandy tart and she made it without eggs, it still worked. Yeah. Why are the eggs necessary in the recipe? Wendy, we've got you on the line. Wendy?
Where are you?
Oh, it's so cool to connect with you. Thank you so much, Wendy. Okay, well, I was about to ask you a question, but you go ahead. Put it to our panel.
Well, basically what happened was I was very busy trying to bake a tart and somebody phoned me and I got carried away chatting and long story short, I forgot to put the eggs in the cake or the tart and it turned out perfectly. So I just wondered what the difference is for the eggs, what the difference the eggs actually make. Is it just binding?
What's the
It
deal
gives
here?
structure. It gives it structure. It enriches it. I mean, that's why cakes are so light and fluffy. It gives all of those things. And I mean, you had a thing why that works so well.
Yeah, there is a thing why it works so well because a tipsy tart or a brandy tart, it's got huge amounts of dates and nuts. So it doesn't need structure and it's very rich already.
Saucy,
and then you get the sauce
syrupy,
over it as well. And that's why it works. If you bake a normal cake that needs the height, that needs the binding, you need the eggs. It won't come. But in this specific case, it worked.
So the chief difference here being a cake and a tart, where the eggs are desperately necessary for a cake, but for a tart you can, like
that's
this, you
got
can
the density of the fruit. I mean, I made a carrot cake and I was talking so much I left out the flour. Not joking. At a demonstration.
But hopefully not the
and
carrots.
then it worked.
It made the best carrot halva you ever tasted.
So what you're going to do, Wendy, is you're going to put it on Instagram and you're going to coin it. It's going to be your very own egg-free recipe for creating a beautiful brandy tart. But Wendy, great question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Oh, thank you. You too, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Then we had a question coming in from Lorna from here in Cape Town last week. She wants to make citrus jam and then freeze it. Is it possible to freeze jam? I know we broached it, but it's a bit of a tricky area there. What do you...
Remember, we told her she could freeze the peel of the citrus, but you can definitely freeze jam.
Yes.
Will the sugar in it not crystallize, or how do you get it out
Not
of
really.
it?
It doesn't go solid, because sugar doesn't, it won't freeze solid, but it'll preserve it beautifully.
Yes, as long as you put it in a proper container. So you can put it in a glass container or in a plastic container. I'll put it in a plastic container and at least seal it properly.
Make sure that there's no air.
And you can put it in a glass container, but make sure you've got about 1 inch at the top because it expands a little bit. Otherwise it's going to burst.
It's going to burst, yeah.
So in the freezer, it will last up to about 12 months.
Oh, wow.
But
I suppose because you're also preserving it when you're making the jam.
Well, sugar's a preservative, so in the fridge it'll last for about 6 months.
So leave an inch or so you don't have a jam explosion in your freezer. And people take so long to create this jam as well, so you want to store it. Yeah. We've got Louise on the line. Very good morning, Louise.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Louise. How are you today?
I'm very well, are you?
Oh, very good, thanks. Thank you so much for making contact. What's your question or your conundrum?
All right, well, what I need to know is I'm making a tuna mousse, all right?
Okay.
And I know what to mix the tuna with. I need to know how many teaspoons of gelatin powder I should mix into the mixture to make it set.
Does you want to know a quantity? You want to know a quantity of how much to mix?
Yeah. I would use 3 tins of tuna.
Okay.
Yeah.
With mixed with cream cheese.
Okay.
All right. But I want to know, with 3 tins of tuna, how much gelatine should I pop into?
How much
gelatine? Oh, okay.
How
We
much
got you
cream
there.
cheese?
Thanks. Bit of a rough line, but thank you. Great question. So how much gelatine should you...
She said a tub of cream cheese, eh?
Tub of cream cheese, 3 tins
grams.
of tuna. She obviously wants to make this tuna set. So how...
Remember, mousse is light. So if you put too much gelatine in it, it's going to be rubbery.
I will just take 1 sheet, one sheet, and I'll put it in a bit of water, warm water, let it melt, and I'll mix it through. But I think you're going to have to look at proper recipe because gelatine is science. You need a specific.
You can't really.
Yeah, you can't.
There, yeah.
But I think try it with 1 small sheet and see how it comes out.
I normally, if I'm sort of doing a fruity thing or making a jelly from scratch, I go like with 5 mils to a cup.
Okay.
But that's a pudding, though. That's a pudding,
But that's quite
dense.
Dense.
Because you have to bring it out of the fridge and let it stand, so it relaxes a little bit because it just should do that.
Should have a little jiggle.
Yes.
Just a little jiggle. Louise, awesome question.
Maybe a teaspoon or a teaspoon.
I think also just look for a recipe and maybe start there, and then you can always do a couple of batches because none of it will go uneaten. We're going to keep the lines open 0214309881 for the culinary hotline. Bling!
Zing, zing, zing!
Well, if you love tropical flavors like I do, then you're in for a treat with Clem's simple and delicious pina colada-inspired pineapple upside-down cake. Catch all the action and the recipe for this quick and easy cake loaded with island flavors today at 4:30 p.m.
Well, time to talk about people making a difference. The City of Cape Town recently launched a safe space initiative which allows homeless people an opportunity and, of course, a space to lay their heads down during this very cold winter.
And it is a very cold winter indeed. And what's great about this initiative is it's addressing the shortage of shelters that we currently have in the city. So let's take a look at this wonderful initiative and how it's making a real difference.
Today we officially launched the Safe Space. It's been open for a few weeks. We did a soft launch of it a few weeks ago. We've been speaking to homeless people now for the last few years about the concept. We're saying, if we build this, will you come? And what needs to be there for you to come? Because when we speak to homeless people, they say, no, we don't want to go to shelters. So all of this was designed around what we got as indications from the people on the street. And essentially, it's a one-stop shop for people. So people can come here at night, they can be safe. There's space for 230 people here. There's lockers at the back there where you can lock your personal effects so they don't disappear. It also is a place where you can get access to a toilet. There's a shower with warm water. And it's very basic, but at the same time, many of them have been on the street for 20, 30 years. They're not keen on being in a brick and mortar structure. They've adapted a certain lifestyle, and if we're asking them to walk with us to the next level, this has to be a place where they feel comfortable coming. So one of the provisions was that we had to relax the rules. It's a little bit more lenient than a shelter, and people sleep in their extended family structures as they would on the street. Couples stay together, which is something that in the shelters they don't permit.
So from when she's been 12 years old, she's been on the street. And sy's nou 42. Okay, jy lyk bietjie jonger, Cecilia. Cecilia has a friend who is here with her, who I spoke to last week. Ons het hom aangemoedig om 'n ring om my vinger te sit. As jy Helen reg maak by jou, sit ek nie nou baie lelik op die spot, Helen. Hoor jy die storie? No pressure, Cecilia. Thank you.
We wanted to open it in time for the winter. Weather is miserably cold at the moment. The issue is when it gets warmer, will people stay? And so I'm encouraged that I hear of the 16 people who've joined us here now. People like Cecilia and Ivan and Llewellyn and others are staying. They're coming back, and they're saying that this is a place where they can sleep at night, where it is good for them to be. That's what I want to hear, and we're going to pay careful attention to what they have to say over the next weeks, because we will have to change and adapt. There isn't a neat blueprint that we can run this place according to. We're learning as we go.
The new facility, it surprised me very, really, because as I can tell you now, as a safe space, and I know outside here, I should have kind of wear a jacket like this. This should have been long time gone. So that's why I said the safe space is all right. We can't actually expect everything, you understand? But at least we're out of the cold, out of the wind, and there's medical, it's got blankets.
Other NGOs are coming forward and said we'll come and bring food, we'll come and bring opportunities, we'll come and cut hair here. This is also a place where once a week for 3 hours our matrix drug treatment facilities and our clinics will come and render services. So it is becoming a useful one-stop shop for people to come and gain access to opportunities, counseling, etc.
We want to work, it's most of all, you see. I want to work that can also not actually feed me, can also maybe send money maybe to my family, my children and stuff like that.
This is a place where people can access EPWP job. In fact, their house father, Ivan, is somebody who 4 months ago was on the street and is now the house father working on the Extended Public Works program. We've also made an arrangement that anybody who's here or in one of the shelters, who after being on the EPWP work finds more long-term accommodation, we will reward with more long-term employment. So we've given them the commitment, if that they find accommodation, we will sustain the employment on a more long-term basis for them as well.
What an incredible initiative. I have to tell you, that's definitely caught my heart and really got my attention, made me smile this morning. But still coming up on the show, if you have some challenges in the kitchen, chefs on dial, Culinary hotline, give us a call. They'll help you out. And of course, still coming through Top 45 FM, all the biggest jams from locally and internationally. Stick around, it's your breakfast show. Feel good, Expresso.
Join the party on Top Billing this Saturday evening at 6 as we're on the road and in the saddle with Triathlon's Commonwealth Games champion Henry Schoeman. Triple summer winning Anel drops his righteously hip new music video, and the family cozy bring the great South African bride tradition to the people of Greece. That's Top Billing this Saturday evening at 6. Repeat Sunday midday on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean
Call us right now. Welcome back to Live with Expresso. Just in time for the second part of our Culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. Thank you to the Peanut Gallery for weighing in there. We love you. Of course, we've got Anel and Jenny, our superstar panel here this morning. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. We're going to dive right in with a question from Jade van Dinnen, who is asking, and this, I would imagine, echoes a lot of people's questions in this area when it comes to vegan diets, how to make vegan bread.
Well, it starts off with no egg.
No milk, no butter. Yeah.
So we might have started making a vegan brandy tart earlier with no eggs, but this is intentional. Okay, so talk us through, what do you then need to replace, or how do you approach it?
Nothing.
The question is, I think that everybody asks, because you're using flour, that's vegan, you're using water, And then the other thing you use is yeast. And yeast is vegan friendly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And normally the eggs and the milk, that's to enrich it, to make speciality bread.
Like a brioche, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so a bread is normally vegan.
I love
unless it's been enriched with something
well, there
else.
we go. Just
And
do nothing. Just keep it as it is. So we've got Virginia on the line. Virginia from Cape Town as well. Very good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. What's your question or your comment for the ladies?
I have a grandchild who doesn't have sugar at all. He's 4 years old and he likes baking cookies. I'm looking for a recipe with no sugar in it.
Cookies, sans... A biscuit, sans the sugar. Great question.
Yeah. Well,
ladies, you're thinking very hard about this.
No,
you're thinking like,
because
what?
I'm thinking, why can't the child have sugar? My granddaughter doesn't eat sugar, so we normally put fruit into it. It's just flour. You make it with flour and a bit of egg and some
Is
butter.
obviously being a natural sugar, is fruit included in that? What is the reason for the omission of sugar in the diet?
No, the sugar is the fruit is fine. Like dates, you love dates.
Lovely.
Okay, wonderful.
There you go. Yeah, just leave the sugar out and put lovely dried fruits in it.
What about a sugar substitute? Sorry, we're asking you the questions here. Something like fructose or one of our substitutes, is that allowed?
My son and daughter have attention deficit. So sugar is one of the things that we cut out.
How would you dried fruit?
So he doesn't have sweets or anything like that, and he loves it. I mean, for a lot of parents, that's actually a good model to follow. So thank you so much. Thanks for sharing that as well. So we're looking at possibly substitute, but anything that's not going to give a very quick energy spike, basically.
It's like xylitol as well, you know, those sugar substitutes that you can get. And there's a lot of recipes online that you can find.
And I recently, my mum whipped up some crunchies with date syrup.
Oh,
which is
I use
great.
it all the time. I love it.
So there you go. Fruit is your go-to. I love that. Thank you so much. Wonderful question. Let's go back to something I'm trying to wrap my head around, why you would ruin a fillet steak by putting it in pastry. But Arlene from Durban, please, all due respect. When she makes pastry with fillet steak, the pastry comes out wet. What is she doing wrong? She asks in desperation.
I think it's a Wellington.
Yeah, it's a beef Wellington, I think, that she's making. That's what she's talking about. So with a beef Wellington, the first thing I will say is you have to sear your fillet steak and let it rest.
So whatever juice is going to come out is going to come out.
But also mushrooms have got a very high water content, so I would chop those up, cook them out, and then strain.
Yes.
Almost have
and
a
then pack it around.
by the time you get there.
And also you could put a piece of filo pastry on the bottom or a couple of pancakes.
Yeah. You can wrap it in pancakes or wrap it in Parma ham or something as well. Like your mushroom duxelle with Parma ham. And if your steak is well rested, let me tell you, there won't be a soggy bottom.
And make a couple of little holes where you're going to make the first cut so that the steam can escape.
I love that. Just think about it from a moisture content perspective. Any moisture that's trapped inside that beautiful little pastry shell is going to want to come out when you're cooking it. And hopefully that's answered your question. We don't like soggy bottoms. A little bit of jiggle, but no soggy bottoms. Let's now broach this. Another great question. This one coming from Gerrit, who is asking, why is it that when he makes a cheesecake that goes flat in the middle, what is he doing wrong? Why?
We had
What's
that
happening?
question before.
Yeah, you start, Jen. You start.
Well, remember, baking happens from the outside in. Temperature has a great impact on your baking.
And I think it's normally about 150, so it needs to be like, can't be like 200, and then it starts to bake from the outside and the inside doesn't bake. So that's a big thing in temperature. The other thing is air. So if you over whip a cheesecake, they say you must actually not whip it or clip it. You just have to fold things. There gets a lot of air inside if you over whip it, and that inflates and deflates quickly.
Exactly.
Like souffle vibes.
Exactly. That's a very good one. Yes.
So I would say if you have been whipping it, let it rest a little bit so that whipping can subside.
Yeah, and also another thing you can try is put a bit more stabilizer in. So add 2 or 3. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Laughing
Absolutely
at me?
nothing. No, absolutely nothing.
Oh my goodness.
As she was saying,
I
stabilizer.
Stabilizer, put in like 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour in, or corn flour or something like that.
But not too much stabilizer, because we still want a little bit of jiggle. Remember that. And I'm going to ask this one last question that came through that we didn't get to a little bit earlier. And I'm not talking about the ethical question of should we be cooking octopus at all, because that's also got a lot of people sitting on the fence. But it is, when it comes to cooking it, it is very difficult. Timing seems to be precious here. What's the vibe?
Octopus is tough. Okay. So the way I had it in Spain and the way I love to cook it is they boil it for quite a long time with garlic and onion and different bay leaves and different flavorings. And then the only thing they do, they put it on a layer of boiled potatoes.
Nice.
They put the whole octopus on there and they sprinkle it with paprika.
Yes.
And with
Olive
lemon
oil,
juice and olive oil.
parsley.
Yes.
Nice.
So I would say, Jen, I think they have to cook it before, and then they can do a lot with it.
They can do a lot with it. Then you can take it and you can grill it, or like when I was in Greece, they clapped it against the
how long
rocks
is
to
long?
tenderize
How
it.
long would you
About
cook?
45 to 90 minutes, but,
Oh, wow,
but not
okay.
rapidly boiling, because that's going to seize it.
Just slow.
Wouldn't you like to be an octopus? Because you'd have 8 arms and you eat 8 people
Yeah,
all at
but
once.
not if we're going to be cooked for...
And you can suck on anything.
You're just making me feel so guilty for absolutely loving octopus, but we've had some wonderful questions. Don't you agree? Can we give our viewers a round of applause?
Yeah, we love you.
For some superb questions. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much for bringing that adult TV vibe, late night TV vibe to breakfast TV. No, we absolutely love you, and I still am yet to see you stumped on a question, so thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
think you
You
might
said-
actually know everything.
You said soggy bottoms, not us.
Yeah, man. Keep it just firm up.
Well, we're moving away from the soggy bottoms and now focusing on some music with the 5FM Top 40 local and international chart show. Drake's doing really well with a record of 3 singles currently on that chart, while we hear new music from Durban band Easy Freak. But here's Nick Hammond to let us know who is number 1.
What's going on, guys? Nick Hammond here to recap the 5FM Top 40 from this past weekend. And like we always do, let's begin by jumping in and looking at the brand new entries onto the charts. And speaking of which, this first one, it's local. It's at number 40. It's from Shoma Josie. It's called Huku. The second new entry pick that I decided to highlight came in just 1 point ahead at number 39. It's new music from Tom Budden and Copa, funky dance tunes on 5FM called Things Change.
Things change, things change.
Time to get into my mover and shaker picks for the week on the 5FM Top 40. The first one is a re-entry sitting at number 35. It's coming from A$AP Rocky. This one quite not yet able to hold on to the top 40 for more than 2 weeks in a row, but still set to become a big hit in the future. It's called Praise the Lord.
I praise the Lord and break the law. I take what's mine and take some more.
My second mover and shaker, also a re-entry this week, this time at number 26. It's local music from the boys originally from Durban, taking over the SA musical landscape. It's Easy Freak with Good Times.
Like a supercar. On the good times, nothing wrong. With some good wine, not too much.
Time to get into the top 10 right now, beginning at number 10 from the biggest hits from this past weekend. It's music from Jonas Blue and Jack and Jack called Right. At number 9, we wish her all the best in the world after following the revelations of her battling with drug abuse. It's Demi Lovato and Clean Bandit at 9 with Solo.
But I got nobody, so I do it so low.
Shekinah and Murray Shan, local music, taking your number 8 spot this week on 5FM with a track called Different.
No, I don't do things just the way that you do. I owe nothing to you.
At number 7, this song is off the soundtrack to the second season of 13 Reasons Why, a show that this lady produces. It's Selena Gomez with Back to You.
I know I go back to you. I go back to you.
LMA from the UK, the breakout star, takes your number 6 spot, teaming up with Nicki Minaj, called Boot Up. Back-to-back UK acts now again at number 5. Halfway through the back end of the top 10 is Georgia Ezra with a tune called
I'll
Shotgun.
be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone.
Sampling a classic at number 4 is J Balvin, Cardi B, and Bad Bunny. I Like It. They came out as one of the biggest bands in the world, disappeared for some time, and now are back on the scene. It's 5 Seconds of Summer at number 3 with Youngblood. At your number 2 spot, a former number 1 dropping down now for 2 weeks in a row at the 2nd position on the charts. It's Maroon 5 and Cardi B with Girls Like You. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to keep listening to me, Nick Hammond, on Hammond Time, Monday to Fridays, 9 to 12. And of course, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to find out who's going to take that number 1 spot on the 5FM Top 40. And speaking of which, this past weekend off his album Scorpion, it's gone once again to Drake with In My Feelings.
From the block like you Jenny. I know you special, girl, cause I know too many. Risha, do you love me? Are you riding?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Nick Hammond, for bringing us the top 40 from 5FM's local and international chart. Well, someone that's no stranger to the South African music scene is Brandon Lee Hunt. He's got one more performance coming up for you, so you do not want to miss out on that.
Exactly. And how about another winter warmer? Let's go and make a delicious dumpling soup in the kitchen after the break.
So it's fine, dude, alright? Yeah.
Don't care who holds the upper hand. I try to use it to understand. And sometimes the tables they've got to turn. And in the silence, the lessons we learn. Said you gotta fill your heart with love. Not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now when everything is understood. Fill your heart with love, not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now when everything is understood. And everything you hope for, I wish for you. And everything you dream of,
would be cool. Just a teeny bit more vocals would be cool. Yeah, thanks.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Introducing Clover Care, the first enriched milk packed with nutrients to help you take extra care of your whole family.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by our gorgeous ladies this morning. When you're after a light yet satisfying meal, why not try this morning's yummy, yummy dumpling soup? These delicious doughy morsels, a combination of self-rising flour and Clover Care milk, will have you licking your bowl from side to side for more. And serve with buttered, crusty bread, and this super silky milk-based soup will have your entire family smiling ear to ear on cold winter days. You know what my beautiful baby boy does when a meal's really good? The shimmy shimmy. This meal will have you doing the shimmy shimmy. Yes. Jenny and Anel, I try to get them out of the kitchen, and when they saw this, they're like, no, we're just going to stay. We're going to hang around. Ladies, this is amazing. I mean, there are so many cool bases
within this to work from. But of course, we're using our Clover Care milk fortified with all of the things that young and olds often don't get as a part of their diet, which is great. But of course, it's adding a creamy deliciousness to the mixer. So take it away, girls.
Yes, we're going to start with a soup. So we're making a dumpling, an Asian dumpling with beautiful flavors with a soup.
Okay.
So we're going to use some milk, this beautiful enriched clover milk. Add that in there. Then we're going to add some coconut cream.
Oh, lovely.
To make the soup.
And boom, it's Asian. That's
and
just
now
such like a Thai.
The flavour is some...
Careful, sister, disappoint.
This is Thai curry paste.
And we were talking about our pastes earlier.
Yeah.
So a perfect prelude. What goes into a Thai curry paste, essentially?
Prawn, well, you must be careful of that because
Yeah,
you
I
have
know,
an
the
allergy.
great
So
curse of my
sometimes
life,
a prawn paste and fish sauce and chilies and ginger and garlic and galangal, shallots, lemongrass, kaffir
So someone has
lime.
put a lot of work into combining a lot of flavour.
Yes.
A real
We add
punch of
lovely
flavour.
lemongrass, very small cut, finely cut, so you don't want to bite into this big piece.
No.
So that is so flavoursome. Jen, so what goes into the dumpling?
Okay, so what we're doing here is just some lovely fresh coriander and ginger. Just 3 simple flavours.
I mean, this really is simple. Okay, granted, we are lucky to be able to get some wonderful Asian flavour and influences. You know, you mentioned the lemongrass, things like our paste. We get beautiful fresh fish. It is so easy to create something that ultimately looks pretty swanky. This looks like some high-end cooking, but it's taking us minutes. And I think I just must reiterate, you know, when we talk about our enriched milk here, what makes it so special, unfortunately, the reality in the South African market is that we don't get enough of the nutrients that we need. We're talking about over 10 vitamins allowed that really do help overall well-being. Calcium, obviously, massively important. Vitamin D, massively important for our joints, for our bones. So much so that this is actually endorsed by the National Osteoporosis Foundation of South Africa and developed by food specialists. So not just about a flavour palette, but it's about getting nutrients that we need.
I like it. I like it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fold these. That you just take it and you crimp and fold, wet the edges because you don't want it to fall apart.
That the water binds
exactly.
it then, yeah?
And don't be greedy like me. Normally, seriously.
Don't overdo it.
No, because you put too much filling and it's going to burst.
And these you can buy at your Chinese supermarket or Asian supermarket. And remember, lots of water. You mentioned that, lots of water on the sides.
Yes.
And then you just...
You're doing like a little butterfly, fold over.
You could make a little money pouch. The Chinese love money pouches.
And there you go.
Bring good fortune into your kitchen and home.
Beautiful one.
I love that. So it's the same sort of vibe here, and we've spoken about having too much moisture in a closed-off pastry pocket. That with your filling, don't let it be too wet.
Yes.
That you want those beautiful fresh ingredients, but just watch the amount of moisture going in there. You don't want your pocket to explode, okay?
So the soup is cooking now. And now we're going to add the dumplings.
So we actually cook the dumplings in
Yes.
And treat it like a gnocchi. What happens is, especially if you're making a deep one in a broth, they go to the bottom, and then they go bloop, bloop, up to the top.
And once they've risen,
and they're ready to go, yes.
So this is about 6 to 8 minutes, and then you get that most delicious...
it looks creamy, it looks amazing, and I love the fact that that soup, that sauce effectively is infused with our dumplings. You can taste one after we've taken a photograph, but we're going to take you through a little play-by-play of how we arrived at these gorgeous Asian-inspired dumplings. That does look good, eh?
Yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
When you're after a light yet satisfying meal, why not try this Clover Care dumpling soup recipe that'll have you licking your bowl and asking for more. For this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of Clover Care milk, dumpling skin wrappers, 300 grams prawn meat, 1 teaspoon grated ginger, a handful of chopped coriander, a cup of coconut cream, 2 tablespoons red Thai curry paste, and 1 stalk chopped lemongrass. For the dumplings, add prawn meat to a bowl. Add chopped coriander and grated ginger. Stir well to combine. Spoon the mixture onto dumpling skins. Wet the edge of the wrappers with water. Fold in half and pinch the edge closed. Fold in the corners to form dumplings. And set aside. For the soup, add chopped lemongrass and red Thai curry paste to a pan. Stir until fragrant. Add coconut cream and Clover Care milk. Stir and allow to simmer. Place dumplings in the soup. for 6 to 8 minutes. This super silky milk-based soup will have your family smiling ear to ear on cold winter days.
Made with love by Clover.
Do the gorgeous food shimmy. It's the shimmy. Ladies, I can't be so mean as to not give you a little taste. So please, the proof is in the dumpling in this case. The keyword is Clover to 33728, and you can have our enriched milk-inspired Asian prawn dumplings.
Oh dear.
Here we go. And?
So full of flavour, and there's a bit of heat.
I want to go.
Check out, I'm living vicariously through you right now. That's all you need. That's what you want your family to be doing. But ladies, thank you so much again for joining us. I know I had to really put you through the ringer with this one. It's tough. It's tough in this kitchen. That keyword Clover to 33728.
Oh, it's a lucky.
Introducing Clover Care, the first enriched milk packed with nutrients to help you take extra care of your whole family.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, why don't you make every Wednesday your wash day? Winter is nearly over and spring is on the horizon. And what a good time to go through the wardrobe and have a little bit of a sort out session. Decide which of your winter and summer clothing you're definitely going to keep. And then also take a look at all those garments that still looks and feels like new, but you've moved on from them. So it's a great idea to toss them.
Exactly. Now, MAC Auto Washing Powder and MAC Soft Fabric Conditioner are your go-to products to thoroughly clean and care for these garments, restoring them to their former glory and making them ready to be used and enjoyed again. So tip number 1 in making all of this happen, your MAC Auto Washing Powder has been specially formulated to give top performance in your front loader washing machine. It contains a highly effective active detergent combined with a range of enzymes to efficiently clean and safely remove stains. Now, the MAC Soft Fabric Conditioner combines a gentle softening agent to lubricate and condition fibers, making garments soft and comfortable to wear and leaving garments with a clean and fresh smell.
I absolutely love a clean and fresh smell. Now, sometimes when you wear a neck piece or a bracelet, they can often leave nasty marks on collars and cuffs. So simply make a simple paste with your MAC Auto and water, and then gently rub it into the soiled areas and then leave it to stand for half an hour. Then follow with a normal wash.
That's right. Now, sometimes in a very hot environment, we can get perspiration stains. What do? Now, if the stain is quite severe, all you have to do is make up a solution of bicarbonate of soda in water, then sponge the affected area, then end off by washing it in a strong solution of MAC Auto.
Well, we've got another tip for you. Cupboard storage can really make those crisp white linens or cotton outfits look a little bit dingy. Now, why not try a little bleaching? Add 2 tablespoons of MAC multi-purpose thick bleach to a 5-litre tub of water. Soak the garments for a few hours, then wash it in a strong solution of MAC Auto. Now, if the bleach smell still remains, rewash it and rinse thoroughly before drying the clothing.
Exactly. And if a garment is not dirty but simply has a bit of a stale cupboard smell to it, then why not just rinse it? All you have to do is add some MAC Soft Conditioner to water, then allow the garment to soak for a while, wring and dry the garment, and of course remember to always use MAC Soft Conditioner to add that final touch to the laundry process. Garments will look soft, wearable, and smell absolutely amazing.
And MAC certainly makes your wash days a little easier, and we want to make it easy for you to win a MAC hamper every week. To stand a chance of winning, simply SMS the keyword MAC to 33728. Those SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply, and those T's and C's can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com. But you better hurry, because this week's giveaway, it ends at midnight this Friday.
MAC Soft Fabric Conditioner has fragrance pearls that pop as you move to keep you smelling great for whoever you want to impress.
Shine on.
Well, you get your shine on. We're going to take the quickest of ad breaks. Just enough time for you to recharge your coffee cup one last time before Brandon joins us for one last performance, and it's going to be a joy.
Make sure you tune in for Afternoon Express live at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3. So today we focus on a social ill that affects a vast number of learners in South Africa. In the modern world of social media and online communication, the rate of bullying has increased to an all-time high. And we chat to young Lelo Mofokeng, an 8-year-old boy who wrote a book called How I Survived Bullying. You don't want to miss that. That's Afternoon Express, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Well, it's that time for that jingle again. You're back with Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to wish a few more people a very happy birthday. Let's see who you let us know about. Jean Jacob says, happy 7th birthday to my son. He was born on the coldest day. It looked like snow on the 15th of August, 2011. Love you, Zachary. Also, Claudette says, please send a birthday wish to Kasim Carolus. Have a splendid day. Lots of love from his kids, Ibrahim and Malika. Also, Elaine says, good morning, Expresso team. Happy birthday to Gary Mayer and Ruth Orenser. Enjoy your day and much love. As well as Stephen saying, happy born day to Mbalentle. And wishing you a happy birthday. Taryn saying, happy birthday to me. Of course, we've got to do that. Also, Cynthia says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Cynthia. And then let's end it off with Lauren Hook, who says, happy birthday, my lovely friend, Claire Mason Halls. Of course, wishing you a happy birthday. And then, of course, Jasmine saying, happy birthday to Francois Yankees. Enjoy your day. And Faita, happy birthday too, darling.
All right, so time for a happy birthday to everyone, first of all, who celebrates their birthday today. Time for one last performance from Brandon. Dude, I've got to ask, can people see you perform live? I think that's going to be the best way to take in your music. Where are you performing? How can we see you on stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight I'm performing at Mystic Boer in Stellenbosch.
Nice.
It's going to be fun. And for anyone out in Hermanus, on Friday nights I'll be at Tuppers. I played there quite a lot and it's always such a vibe.
Oh, dude, I cannot thank you enough for coming through and sharing with us this morning. It's been really, really cool. How do we connect with you on social media to keep that conversation going?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle's at Meraki Native, M-E-R-A-K-I-E, A-K-I, sorry. native. And then my Facebook page is Brandon Lee Hunt Music page.
Yeah, go and check him out, go and connect, ask him some questions. An incredible music creator and artist, and he's going to round us off on your Feel Good Breakfast show with the perfect song titled Joy. Brother,
Thank you.
absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Song goes out to Tayla.
I don't care who holds the upper hand. I try to use it to understand that sometimes the tables they've got to turn, and in the silence the lessons we learn. Said you gotta fill your heart with love. Not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now, for when everything is understood. Fill your heart with love. Not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now, for when everything is understood. And everything you hope for, I wish for you. And everything you dream of, I wish for you. All the joy I wish for you, for you. To get you through love. And if we wanna breathe, we got to set our souls free now. If we wanna breathe, we got to set our souls free now. Fill your heart with love. Not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now, for when everything is understood. Fill your heart with love. Not everything is always good. Gather all your strength now, for when everything is understood. Everything you hope for, I wish for you. And everything you dream of, I wish for you. All the joy I wish for you, for you. To get you through. I don't care who holds the upper hand. I try to use it to understand that sometimes the tables they've got to turn, and in the silence the lessons we learn.
Thank you so much.
that was
what
amazing.
a lovely guy. Just so humble and down to earth. I don't think he is aware of how unbelievably talented he is.
And the cool thing is, he's a Kingsway High School alumni. I went to Kingsway High School. Yeah.
But absolutely awesome. If you are in Stellenbosch tonight, you can check him out at the Mystic Boer. But guys, can I please ask, just in honor of unbelievably gorgeous little guys, can we take a look at one of the stories that we did earlier this morning?
Yes, let's do that.
This little boy just throwing it down. Look at this training session. Take it away.
Just look at that. Okay, so watch your dad. Watch your dad.
Focus.
Okay,
and now
I have to do the same.
Get in it, and push.
Those are some sneakers.
Push.
That is amazing.
What I love about it is the way the belly leads first.
Yeah.
You know, the belly comes first. A little nap
There we
down.
go. A little squat.
Squat.
I'm just going to stay here.
I'm just going
Feel
to
the
stay
burn,
here.
yo.
I'm going to stay here.
Feel the burn. That is so sweet, man.
It's the party squat.
I love that.
Oh, no,
Adorable.
man.
The relationship between dads and their kids is so amazing. So, yeah,
no
dads never
idea.
forget the role you play in your kids' lives. That's amazing.
Oh, man, little mini-me's. Absolutely love you, boy. Love you so much. So it really has been an awesome show. Thank you so much. Hopefully, if you're a blended family, you've taken something out of today, but we get to do it all over again tomorrow.
That's right. And it's Thursday, so we're going to bring you some fitness, and this time we're going to do a little bit of yoga, so you do not want to miss out on that.
We're also making a rooibos tea lemon jam jar. Ooh, child. I don't know how that's going to taste, but it sounds amazing.
Oh, child. Absolutely love it. Ladies, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Thank you again to Brandon Lee Hunt. Just a superb, awesome gentleman to have on set this morning. So humble and so unbelievably talented. You guys go out and crush that day. We love you. Never forget it.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Nada. Feel Good production.